Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We've got big-time sports here in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers play in Cleveland on Sunday with coverage beginning at 9 a.m. sharp right here on Sactown Sports. Then Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage begins at 5 o'clock p.m. here on Sactown Sports, and the game is going to be broadcast on ESPN at 6:30 p.m. In baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves last night with a 3-1 victory. This is the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won 100 games or more. That's the first time that's ever happened. It's time to let you know that the NorCal Sportsman Show is this weekend, October 14th and 15th, at the grounds in Roseville. And of course, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Let's get started here with Chris and Company with Stiles and Watkins.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Yes. Sactown Sports, Chris and Co., Stiles and Watkins got you on a fun Friday as we take you up till 2 p.m. Lots to talk about. We have the Chiefs. Are they playing with their food, or are they just not that good this year? Baseball, people complaining about the playoff formats in general. Is it real? Should we care? Or should you just stop being soft? And we're going to talk some Kings later in the show. We're going to get fun on this fun Friday. Talk a little bit Olympics 2024 and some of the new sports that have been that are joining the Olympics. Chris, always good to be with you. How you doing on this Friday?
Pretty good. It's always good when it's a Friday, and we got some decent football action this weekend. So
yes, I thought you were going to say yesterday.
No, absolutely not. No, I mean the Broncos look like the worst team in the NFL. I mean that offense looks terrible, and that defense leading into that game was the worst in the NFL by just about every metric, and they actually showed up. So I can't imagine how they're feeling right now. Vance Joseph has kind of been on the block a little bit, been on the hot seat these past couple weeks, and can't feel great when you're like, hey guys, we actually did our job today.
Right.
Russell, you want to kind of help us get going there? I mean, under 100 yards passing, and it was definitely not a good game last night.
And we'll touch on it a little bit more when we get the sound. But yeah, the Steve Smith Sr. versus Jerry Jeudy drama, that was pretty funny, because I think it leads to a bigger conversation. And we had it happen last week with Dante Whitman and what he said about Dak Prescott saying that he sucks, and was it disrespectful to say that? So we have a lot to talk about, and just in terms of media and players and what is allowed to be said and what is not allowed to be said. But let's start here with the Chiefs. And, the Chiefs, they always play with their food, right? And it's always Mahomes being Mahomes and having to come back, very similar to what Mike Sando wrote about Brock Purdy not having to do yet.
Right.
But that's because the Niners don't play with their food.
No, they don't.
Okay? They put it on their plate and they eat it.
Take care of business. Yeah.
Right? They take care of business. So we've seen this happen in the past, and you've always felt like the Chiefs are going to figure it out. I don't know if I feel like that this year with the Chiefs. They just might not be very good. I mean, Sky Moore, okay? and look, as much as we love Patrick Mahomes and we know he's got the cannon, and we talk about Brock Purdy being dink and dunk and Dak being Dak and dunk, Mahomes is throwing to running backs a lot.
Yeah.
Looks like to me, Pacheco is definitely he needs an Advil after the game. I mean, he is carrying these guys. What do you think? What do you think as far as the Chiefs are concerned? Do you think it's the typical, hey, we're gonna give you a chance here, and then we're gonna hit you when it really matters? Or are they just not that good this year?
I think they're definitely not to the quality that they've been in the past, and I think that their lack of receiving depth, as you mentioned, Sky Moore, like I think that's going to come back to bite them when it really matters.
Yeah.
Like I think, to your point, like I think they can play with their food a little bit and at least say it's playing with their food when they're playing against teams like the Broncos and when they're going against the Raiders or teams like that. But when push comes to shove, when it gets to playoff season, like we remember, what was that, 2 years ago when the Chiefs had that huge 24-0 comeback on the Houston Texans in that first round. I don't think that they're capable of being that explosive of an offense anymore. I just don't think that they have. I mean, obviously losing Tyreek Hill, and you can say, oh, but they figured it out last year. But at least they had, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but they had Juju last year. Right. They had, on top of Travis Kelce, and they had a couple other receivers that they were working in, and it was never great, but it was good enough to get it done. It just doesn't feel like this year Patrick Mahomes is going to have the weapons necessary. I mean, Travis Kelce was there all day, and I think that's Travis Kelce with a bum ankle.
Well, he got dinged up again, and he was limping around. So, we know, I don't know what they're pumping him with in the locker room because T Swizzle ain't going to be out there if Travis ain't playing. So you got to keep him on the field. But, yeah, I mean, it's Travis Kelce and the gang.
That's it.
It's like the Temptations, David Ruffin. No one is here to see you, Otis.
Nope.
Okay, Sky Moore, Pacheco. No one is here to see you, Otis. And that's what it looks like right now with the Chiefs. And that makes me feel, okay, bringing it back to the Niners, the NFC, we've always thought, at least I feel like most of us have thought that the big test for the Niners, besides with the Eagles included, the big test was going to be in the Super Bowl AFC. You get past the Eagles, then you got to face the gauntlet of quarterbacks, whoever comes out of that, right? But they're not looking as strong. The Bills, Dr. Jekyll, just flip a coin to figure out what Bills team is going to show up. Lamar and that. Remember when it was supposed to be a new offense with Lamar?
Yeah, this year they were supposed to open up the passing game. It was supposed to be, Lamar's going to run, but that's almost going to be like a Mahomes secondary weapon that you forget about.
Right, and haven't
seen it.
And you have Odell, and they're roasting Odell. I saw one thing.
Oh, my God, Joey Porter Jr., bro.
Did you see the one thing on Odell said, hey, man, it's time for you to go be a family man.
No.
Just go be a family. He can't stay on the field.
Yeah, no, he can't.
He can't stay on the field. So you have
sad,
the Ravens who, it was early in the season. I said, okay, I was really excited. And I got my YouTube TV. I got my Red Zone. I got my Sunday ticket going. And every time I look up, Lamar's running again. I'm thinking this is the same offense we've seen. So you have them. You have the Bengals with the calf for Joe Shiesty, as I call him, Joe Burrow. Looks like he's starting to come back around, but we don't know. So you look at that AFC, and the big bad wolf doesn't look as scary. And so now it turns into, okay, well, if it's not going to be in the AFC, or maybe teams will round out, it's still early.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get to see, is it possible that the Niners are going to get to see their toughest opponent during the regular season when they go to Philly away? So now the Niners will have a measuring stick onto what they have to do. Now, Kansas City kind of did this last year, but I don't know, man. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but it just looks different. And I wouldn't be surprised if they messed around and play with their food again and they lose to the Jags or somebody random like that.
I mean, and they almost did lose to the Jags last year. I mean, I think that they just look different this year. Like if they are going to get it done, they being the Chiefs, that is, like, I think they're going to actually have to, like, they've won almost not in spite of their defense, but it's been a situation like almost like the Denver Nuggets where their offense is so ridiculous that their defense just needs to be okay and maybe get one or two stops and Patrick Mahomes can take care of the rest, where now it feels like they kind of need to be a little bit more rounded of a football team. Like, yes, Patrick, you still have Patrick Mahomes. He's still capable of doing Patrick Mahomes things. You still have Travis Kelce. He's able to get 9 to 10 catches on any given day, but they're going to need turnovers, which they were able to get yesterday. They're going to need their pass rush to get home, which,
Frank Clark.
Not Frank Clark. He's in the news right now, though. Why can I not think of their defenses? Chris Jones. Chris Jones is starting to kind of get back into shape. He got a sack yesterday and has had a couple so far this season. But they're going to need their defense to essentially step up and be, I mean, probably better than just middle of the road if they realistically want to get through, as you mentioned, the gauntlet in the AFC, but also if they want to hoist that Lombardi trophy at the end of the year, like if they have to go against a team like the Niners or if they have to go against the Eagles again, I don't know if they're going to be able to play with them because just of how explosive those teams can be on a given day.
Yeah, I'm looking here at this Chiefs team, and you pay Mahomes all this money, and the whole thing was, hey, it's dispersed in a way that we can still keep guys. Well, he didn't keep anybody. No. Right? Nope. He didn't keep anybody, and all Mahomes did was buy a share of the Kansas City Royals, right? So it seems like the Chiefs are putting they've pushed the limit on Mahomes, and it feels like they've pushed it too far. Yeah. And we had the conversation yesterday about game managers and how Mahomes might be the only one that can elevate his team. Yeah, but you don't want anybody to have to elevate his team that much. No. I'm sure if you were a Chiefs fan, it was much more fun when people were wondering, well, who is Mahomes without Tyreek, even though they won one without Tyreek now. Right. When they had the weapons, it's a much more fun conversation. And the Niners are in that boat now. Mm-hmm. You can talk all the trash you want about Brock Purdy and who he has and all of that good stuff. I'd rather you talk that trash than us have to deal with wide receivers that we've never heard of, okay, and being checked down Charlie because no one can get separation.
You're saying Rashid Rice isn't good enough as a receiver?
Look out. I keep hearing how this dude's up next. I've watched like 3 straight Chiefs games, and every single Herb Street said it like 3 times yesterday. This guy, as the season progresses, this is going to be the guy who's going to emerge. And, you know, he had a good game yesterday, 4 catches, 70 yards, and it's all right, but it's nothing special. Like we've seen guys produce in this offense. To me, it's just whoever Patrick Mahomes decides to feature is going to look
I don't want to defend my sweet baby boy Patrick Mahomes too much, but if Kadarius Toney catches 1 of 4 passes, they're undefeated at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I read something saying that the Chiefs are now looking to bring back McCole Hardman. Yeah. And that's a guy who was pretty darn good on the Chiefs. Can't really do anything without the Chiefs. So maybe there's some simpatico there with Mahomes, but they got to do something because I don't see it.
No, I don't either.
Not the way the Niners are playing. No, and I don't even know if they would get out of the AFC.
No, and we're not saying the Chiefs aren't good, but when it comes to the standard that they've set and what we see across the league, I don't think it's good enough. No. Like, yes, Patrick Mahomes is special, but to your point, like you can only elevate a team so much before you have to deal with the reality of what's in front of you, and it just might not be enough.
Yeah. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, more talk about who can challenge the Niners right now. I don't think it's the Browns, but you never know with that defense. All of that and more when we get back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
The NorCal Sportsman Show is coming October 14th and 15th at the grounds in Roseville. Get huge year-end deals on everything outdoor. Hunting, fishing, camping, golf, and more. Plus free interactive family activities, live music, the Big O Tires Custom Car Show, and a real catch and release pond from Fisherman's Warehouse. Don't miss this first ever event, sponsored by Roseville Auto Mall. Get your tickets now at NorCalSportsmanShow.com. That's NorCalSportsmanShow.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Watkins and Stiles and Watkins on a fun Friday. You know, we had to get that one out the way. You do your first rep. I'm here. I can't remember Dak Prescott's name. I'm saying Frank Clark. He's not even on the Chiefs anymore. So, you know, you get the batting practice out the way.
Yeah.
And now we're ready to cook.
Yes.
In fairness, Frank Clark might be back on Kansas City next week.
That's why I was
Maybe I'm
like,
just
you're
telling the
really
future.
not wrong. Like, I mean,
Maybe
he
I'm
was
telling the
just on
future.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He just pretty much, I don't know if you saw, there was like a Frank Clark pretty much stood in front of the media earlier this week, and they asked him, like, hey, like, is this what do you think of, you know, you've been on the Chiefs all this time, what do you think of this rivalry now that you're on the Broncos? And he pretty much was like, hate to break it to you guys, but this is not a rivalry.
Right.
I was over there, and they don't think about you guys at
Right.
all. And I think, Kyle, you said yesterday in your update, like, the Chiefs have now beaten them, I think 16 straight times or
Yes.
something. So
Yeah.
Also, Frank Clark is no longer a Bronco. He got released this morning.
He got
There you go.
released.
Yep.
Right. And, you know, the whole rivalry thing is always funny because inside the division, everybody says everything is a rivalry.
Right.
But really, and we do the same thing in baseball and basketball too. There's all these mini rivalries. Now the Lakers want to act like it's a rivalry with the Nuggets when you got that broom action. Let's stop playing around. You got that broom on you. So now, you know, when I think of rivalries, I think the Chiefs are in a class of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a class of your own, everybody thinks it's a rivalry because people just want to beat you.
Yep.
So the Broncos have that game circled.
Yep.
The Raiders have that game circled. I would say it's Raiders Chiefs more than anybody else.
Yes,
in
I
that,
would too.
In that division.
Mhm.
And then you have the Raiders versus the Chargers with the battle to not be the worst team in the division. So they go back and forth there,
Right.
and that's fair. So yeah, the rivalry thing is funny, man. But going back to the Chiefs and who they are this year and what we're supposed to make of them, you know, I don't really think we are counting them out.
Mhm.
It's just they look more vulnerable than they have before. And before, it had seemed like almost a calculated vulnerability,
Mhm.
right? I always liken, and they say Patrick Mahomes is kind of like Steph Curry, right? And
Yes.
he gets people to watch the games. And I know people that just started watching football because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And that's how important he is.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
Shout out Taylor Swift, right? And what's interesting is the Warriors during those runs, not that they're done now. One of the reasons I think the NBA always liked making sure, even to this day, making sure the Warriors have the most primetime games is obviously one, because of Steph, but two, it's the way they play.
Mm.
The Warriors don't typically take care of business immediately.
Right.
They're going to let you hang around, and then they're going to have that third quarter
Where it's just an explosion,
and
right.
it's a great product to watch.
Yeah.
That's what the Chiefs do.
Mhm.
But I think the Chiefs are starting to push that line to where I
not
don't think
getting
you're
the
messing around. I don't,
explosion.
I don't think you're
Yeah.
messing around anymore. I think you're just not very good.
Yeah.
Right. That one of the first drives last night when they ended up in the field goal, that to me is a drive in the past. You come down, you take care of business.
Yes.
And they're just unable to do it.
Yeah. I mean, how about the first half in general? Like, I mean, they had multiple opportunities where they were driving into the red zone
Yeah.
and then just couldn't get in there and had to settle for 3 on multiple occasions. It just didn't feel like those are the opportunities where the Chiefs would typically score, and it would have been 14-0 and then 21. Like they would have just continually risen the score. They're, like, typically that game's probably 30-0, like 30-3. Like, there's no reason, like, the fact that it was a 19-3 game, like, or whatever, 19-8 game, like, to me, that's telling that they're just not able to really turn it on, or at least be as dominant throughout the game as what they've been in the past. Like, again, like, typically we're seeing 2 to 3 explosive plays out of the Chiefs per game, and we really didn't see anything. We saw them play a lot more like I wouldn't say traditional offense, because they're still running their crazy trick plays and things like that, which is a whole nother thing. But it's a lot of, hey, Kelsey, be a zone buster. Like, sit in the zone. We're just going to, again, move the ball down. Travis gets 9 catches for 120 yards, and they didn't really have any explosive plays. I don't think Patrick Mahomes threw the ball further than 30 yards once yesterday.
And last season was the same thing. And I looked up the air yards, right, in terms of Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes, they were pretty darn close last season.
That's not good.
I had a bunch of people on my helmet saying that it was on purpose because
it's always on purpose.
Right,
When it's
they
not
weren't
going
letting
well,
Patrick beat him over the top.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if it was on purpose or not.
Right.
These are the numbers.
I don't think
okay?
anybody's intentionally trying to
No.
allow deep passes.
So these are the numbers. And now I'm starting to think, are you wasted? I don't want to say waste because they won a Super Bowl, right? But at what point can you find somebody? And I would even say within the draft, and maybe I'm not correct, but it feels like wide receiver is the newest position where guys are popping immediately.
Yep.
Right? The way that they're playing in college is very similar to how it's happening in the NFL. So I'm sitting here thinking, do the Chiefs, I know they draft late because they're always winning, but do you have a draft problem? You can't find anybody?
Anything.
You got to run out, and Skyboy is a young receiver. I don't want to keep bashing on Skyboy, but you got these are the best guys you could find.
Yeah. Is a flyer on Kadarius Toney, a guy who the Giants was a first-round pick, and like the Giants would have loved. I mean, you want to talk about teams that need receivers?
Yeah.
The New York Giants need receivers,
right?
And they opted out of Kadarius Toney just because he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah,
and I think a big part is also just he's not really trustworthy, and the Chiefs are in that mode where they're taking flyers on these guys instead of realistic. Like they're treating this like this Patrick Mahomes, like LeBron in his first stint in Cleveland, where it's like, hey, you're great, we're gonna get you Mo Williams and Antoine Jameson and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. You can cook with that, right? Like you're great enough to where
I can try.
You can and LeBron took him to the finals, but he ended up getting swept by the Spurs.
And this is how we know Kansas City is now in that New England Patriots territory with Belichick and Brady, because for all that you're saying about them changing the offense and Mahomes being more of an accuracy guy, they're 18-1 in their last 19 games.
No, for sure. I mean, we're not saying they're bad, but I think again, like when the quality is Super Bowl quality, also like you kind of need to look a little bit different. Like when we're seeing all of these other teams look like they can compete with you or look like they're even better than you. And I'm not seeing where the Chiefs would where are the Chiefs separating themselves from the 49ers? How do the Chiefs make the game difficult for the Eagles? How do the Chiefs make the game difficult for the Niners? I'm just not seeing it right now with how they're playing.
No, and we'll know more about the Dolphins because the Dolphins are very similar. So when I was at Temple, right, my splits for my batting average would be ridiculous because before the weather broke, I'd be hitting like 120.
Yeah.
And then after the weather broke, I'm back in the threes. And then I end at I hit like 290 both years. So the Dolphins are the opposite of that because they start out hot. So we need to see what the Dolphins do when the weather gets cold and you ain't in Miami no more. You up in New England,
or Buffalo or whatever. Yeah.
We got to see what happens there. But if they can turn that corner, that's a team where I'm thinking, I think the thing is with the Chiefs, they are the best team, right? Based on record, based on what we know about the Chiefs. But I think we've seen at least 3 teams in the AFC that we feel like at their best could beat the Chiefs.
Yes.
And I would say that's the Dolphins, the Bills. It could even be the
Bengals.
It could be the Bengals.
Definitely still they can turn it back on. There's you could maybe argue the Ravens are still in a figuring out process. Like, Odell doesn't look great, but Zay Flowers looks really good.
Yeah.
Maybe their defense can start to click as well. Like, I think that there's a couple teams out there, but I think the bigger point is it doesn't look like it's the Chiefs and then everybody else. If anything, like the Chiefs are obviously really good, 4-1, and as Kyle mentioned, just a few easy Kadarius Toney 2-yard catches away from being undefeated still this year, but it just feels like there isn't something that separates. Like, yes, you can say the Chiefs have whatever, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and they still have some good pass rush and whatever. You can still say they're a good team, but when you compare them to the Bills or to the Ravens or to the Miami or whatever, their good thing doesn't necessarily massively outweigh everybody else's anymore.
No, and at this point, Kadarius Toney, my nickname for him is Popcorn.
Why is that?
Because I don't know if you ever seen Longest Yard, but that wide receiver, I shouldn't have had that popcorn. It looks like Kadarius Toney is eating a bucket of popcorn before every game because everything is just slipping out of his hands at this point. So shout out to Popcorn. Hopefully he can figure it out. And if you're a Niners fan, hopefully they don't figure it out because that makes your path even better because right now you have the Eagles who are winning. Eagles are kind of similar to the Chiefs in that they're winning, but it's not dominant.
Yeah.
They're barely covering. They're not covering.
Yeah.
So you have the Eagles in that regard. The rest of the NFC, I mean, I've never seen such a pure two-headed race like I've seen here in the NFC. And then the AFC, they're going to continue to beat each other up, but whoever comes out of it, is going to be red hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, because you got to get through that gauntlet, and you're either going to come out really beat up or you're going to come out feeling like a champion and like there's nothing else that can stop you because you already went through this impossible journey. So, yeah, I mean, it's shaping up on the AFC side at least to look like it's going to be a really, really good battle throughout this season and throughout the playoffs as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, getting to a break. When we get back, we're going to look at the Broncos side of things. Russell Wilson, I know he is a polarizing figure. We're also going to talk about the drama between Steve Smith and Jerry Jeudy. All of that and more when we get back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We've got big-time sports in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers play in Cleveland. Coverage on Sactown Sports begins at 9 a.m. sharp Sunday morning. Then, Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage begins at 5 o'clock p.m. on Sactown Sports. The game will be on ESPN at 6:30 p.m. In baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves last night with a 3-1 victory. This is the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won more than 100 games. That's the first time that's ever happened. Those are your headlines. Let's return to more of Chris and Company with Stiles and Watkins.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
We are back. And it's funny. I'm just going to call this out right now. Stiles and Watkins got you till 2 p.m. because Manny Too Legit. There's a camera here. And Chris, for someone who doesn't, I guess he does more than music. Chris says he's a big Donald Glover, Childish Gambino fan. I am myself. Watched Atlanta. Love all of it.
Community?
Did not watch Community, but I
heavily recommend.
Okay.
Heavily recommend.
They're making a movie.
I will fire it up. So basically, Manny Too Legit brought up something that I have dealt with throughout my life. And he said, Allen looks like Childish Gambino, right? Chris sounds like my mother because I tell my mother, hey, I get this all the time. I don't know, right? Yeah. And my mom says, I don't see it, but moms are going to be like that. No one looks like my son. That's just how they are. My boy. My boy. No. And I said to Chris at this time, I didn't know Chris was a Donald Glover guy. And Chris says, I don't see it either. Yep. So if you're on the YouTube, if you're checking us out, just let me know. And if you don't know who Childish Gambino and or Donald Glover is, go ahead and Google that too. Yes. Because I'm telling you, man, I've been at music festivals and they've said, hey, what are you doing out in the Donald Glover? One of these days I'm just going to be like, I am Donald.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm Donald Glover. That's Childish Gambino.
Yes.
I did see it. I don't want to be mean or anything. I did see that you look like Donald Glover a little
Kyle's
bit.
in the camp.
Don't see it at all. I really don't.
Well, maybe because if you watched him on Community, he didn't have a beard.
Yeah, for sure. But
no, yeah, you look like Star Wars Donald Glover.
Okay, I'll take that.
I just don't. I see the beard. You guys have the same beard, maybe similar hair texture, but yeah. I also have a running list of all black guys with beards that I do get told that I look like. Exactly.
But Donald is at the top. Donald happens the most.
Well, you guys definitely have the same length of beard cut too, and I really do think that that's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
I'll come in next week completely shaved.
Yes, and then all of a sudden
it's over.
Those comparisons just stop. All of a sudden, you stop.
I felt a little bit better once Manny Too Legit said it in the chat. So I was like, I don't want to say it because I don't know what the deal
I got
is,
it at physical therapy. Somebody was like, here's another one. I get Childish Gambino, and you know who else I get a good bit? Darrelle Revis.
Okay, I can maybe see the Revis thing.
So he's on the list as well with my beard guys.
Yeah, let me see if I have someone in
mind. I haven't seen
that...
Darrelle Revis in 10 years, so I don't know what he looks like now, but I could see when he was on the Jets.
I've been getting it for years. So I think it's whenever people last saw Darrelle Revis, that's what they're comparing me to.
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And hopefully Jerry Jeudy and Steve Smith Senior figure it out because there happens to be a bit of beef, and I think it goes to just a theme that we've been seeing with a lot of these players and their podcasts. And
normally this happens in basketball, but we're starting to see it in football now.
What you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say. So let's hear from Steve Smith Senior, which first started it, and we'll take you throughout the whole thing, what he said, how he reacts to it going viral, and then ultimately what Jerry Jeudy had to say.
A short while ago, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was walking by, and Steve called out to him, and he got a different reaction.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut To It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in the way or in the manner. And so the word that I've used to describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Just a guy.
And so when I saw him, he's playing well. I wanted to say to him face to face, hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say to him. His response, Mike Robb and Bucky, was ninja.
Ninja.
Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja. I don't mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver that you use a first round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple of years since they drafted you. So if you ever got a problem with Agent 89, I'm sorry for saying that you're an average wide receiver that they eventually will move on. And when teams called me and asking, should they trade for you? I will say no, don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch specifically, can he be a wide receiver? He could be a wide receiver. He's a tier 3. Go back into the studio. I'm done now. Thank you.
Wow. Just barbecue roasted.
That's incredible. Those are my favorite kind of apologies, when you apologize for absolutely nothing,
right?
And then you just go on and like still in the same tone and the same cadence as an apology. You're just like, I'm sorry that you're trash.
Yeah,
it's really not my fault.
Right,
that you're so bad at what you do.
Sorry to this man.
That's on me. That's actually my bad.
The craziest part to me was when he talked about when teams call me and ask, should we trade for you? I'm going to tell them no.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. So
I don't know if anyone is actually calling Steve Smith Sr. for advice on trades.
Probably not.
But it's a bar. That is
maybe now they will.
That's
maybe now they will.
That's like really putting fear in a player's heart.
And quick
Go back into
sidebar.
the studio. I'm done now.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Quick sidebar. That draft that was Henry Ruggs. That was CeeDee Lamb.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
That was Jalen Reagor in the first round.
Really a mixed bag.
Yes.
And I guess, and we were just talking about how these wide receivers are coming out hot and fresh, ready to go like
Out
a
the
little
oven,
Caesar pizza. But some of these guys aren't.
Yeah.
Right. And Jerry Jeudy is a guy who,
he was supposed to be the one.
Is it the quarterback or can you not get separation?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? So basically that goes viral. All right. So Steve Smith Sr. sees that and then during halftime says this.
You know, I don't know if Russ saw Jerry Jeudy on that. Did you see him?
Listen, this is a time for me where when I used to play, I would engage and I love that. But right now, I'm 44 years old. I don't need to have this drama, and I also don't need to have any problems on the sideline for me doing something that will jeopardize not just me, but him. And I'll be honest, and I have to say it just like this. One of the biggest problems we have in the media, especially as a young black man, is sometimes black on black crime. I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not going to engage where the national media can see 2 young African-American men acting like we ain't got no sense. He didn't like what I said, that's fine. I wanted to talk to him. He didn't like it, so we move on. But I'm one, I'm not going to lose my job, and 2, I'm not going to disrespect my family by showing that I have not matured and handle my business the way I should handle my business. We got a flight to catch to London. We got things to do. We ain't got time to be watching a dude do nothing.
I'd like to give snaps there. I'd love to give snaps there.
Even the end. I got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
I'm not on that.
I'm not watching a dude.
This man got 2 catches for 1 yard.
Man.
Come on. I'm not engaging in this.
That's crazy to me. And really, I hadn't heard that.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't either, because that's the first time I heard it.
That's what happens in social media. The first thing goes viral and the second thing doesn't. But he didn't really apologize. He said, I'm not going to go with the back and forth.
You got time to be watching a dude do nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy. Even that's a shot.
That's what I'm saying. He ended it with, hey, you know.
You got time to be watching a dude do nothing.
Yeah, he's like, maybe if he was giving me some substance, some content to work with here.
Yeah.
But dude's got 2 catches for 1 yard. Like, it's not worth my breath. Even.
Right. So quickly before we hit the break and then we'll react, let's hear from Jerry Jeudy, what he had to say, because I don't even know how that works. I know some of these players, even basketball players, say they do look at this stuff at halftime.
Yes.
I'm assuming some NFL players do too. So we don't know when Jerry Jeudy heard what he heard and all of that. So let's hear what he had to say.
Jerry, a little bit of drama before the game with Steve Smith Sr. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that right now.
Man, that was a tough loss, man. I feel like at the end of the game, I feel like we could have got there, but they had a good drive at the end.
Jerry, Steve Smith said he had some kind of conversation with you before the game. Did that not go well, or based on what he said on air on NFL Network?
I don't remember that. But like I said, it was a close game. We just got to finish at the end of the game.
He just said, I'm not engaging. And really, what can you say?
Yep.
I guarantee you he would have had something to say if he balled out.
Lots of things to say. If he would have had, 8 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown, there would have been words to be had.
I want to look up during the break how many targets he had.
I feel like it was he finished with 3 catches.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he was well, it's tough because there was more than a couple balls that got batted at the line where you couldn't it kind of looked like it was going to Jerry. But
right.
Yeah, I would guess 3 or 4 max.
That's not going to work. And again, is it Russell just not being able to do it? Is it Jerry not getting separation? He had 5 targets.
5 targets.
That's not going to work.
No. Well, and they
not as a number one.
Yeah, no. Oh, definitely not. And that was Steve Smith's big argument is he's a tier 3 guy. I'm not saying he's completely trash, but he said he's just a guy. And I think he's kind of right. I think it's been proven out that you can still shine if you're a receiver and you have a bad quarterback. We've seen Terry McLaurin do it for 3 or 4 years now.
True.
You're still able to be semi-productive if you're able to get separation. But they even showed a clip yesterday, I think it was in the first half of Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, and there was no separation on anything in Russell Wilson's defense. Russell definitely didn't have a great game, but if you look at the separation of his receivers, there was none. He had no open windows to throw it to.
And we're up against it. We're going to get into the Russell Wilson side of things and just the Broncos, and we'll bring it back to the Niners and how they were able to get through their blunder at the draft and their current situation, because the whole thing was with what confused me, and even at the time, a guy like Noah Fant, right? He was a guy who he was up and coming tight end, and he was part of that trade for Russell Wilson. So it was very confusing to me. If you have a team that all you're missing is a quarterback, but then you proceed to trade pieces that was part of that. All we need is a quarterback. You get rid of those guys to get said quarterback. And again, you're paying, going back to the Patrick Mahomes thing, you're paying for this guy. We're paying you money to elevate. So you should be able to fight through that. And unfortunately, so far, he hasn't been able to fight through anything.
No, letting Russ cook has resulted in some of the blandest food
it's not a
possible.
meal.
No.
Is that raisins in the potato salad?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
It's raisins and potato salad. It's unseasoned boiled chicken and just all kinds of nastiness.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not even, I can get down with a Marie Callender's pot pie. It's not even that.
No, I wish.
It's not even that.
No.
So we'll get more into that. We'll tie a bow on the Denver Kansas City game. And then after that, we are getting in to the MLB playoffs and how that's going. All that and more when we get back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Picture a swimmer backstroking through a pool of lime jelly. Now picture yourself getting the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro. Now picture a lion and antelope hugging. Now picture yourself switching to Boost Infinite and getting the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Now picture that swimmer again, but this time it's you, and the pool is full of iPhones and baby ducks. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from the station's network.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's going to be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Thank you for hopping in the YouTube chat. Pike916 says Kittle was fined $13,699. We will fact check that. That seems like a very specific shirt. For the shirt, yeah. That seems like a very specific amount of money.
That's and it is true. Yeah, no, he was fined $13,699 for that shirt.
Well, we just add 99 cents on the end of it too.
Why not?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Very.
That's so strange.
How did they come to those numbers?
I don't know. Percentage would be a good guess.
Was it per letter in the bad word?
Right. Let me see if there's anything on that. I mean, I'm not seeing anything on the specifics of why that dollar figure.
Was this the same value as Tyreek Hill for not wearing socks? I'm trying to remember. Was that less?
Tyreek Hill played a game with no socks.
Oh,
yeah,
do you guys
he just
not
got
know about
fined
this?
for that. Yeah, I saw that this weekend.
How do you not get blisters?
I guess it was like an accident. Like he was planning to wrap up his feet or like his ankles or something like that.
I think he was getting
just
an
didn't
IV.
have time. Yeah, that's what it was. He was getting an IV, and he just didn't have time to put on his socks. And they said that it was a uniform infraction.
So he probably, I'll do it at halftime. I'll do it, but he had already gotten fined.
I think he did it like on the next play or something.
Right.
Like they took him out for a run play and then he put the socks on or something.
Do you think they'll ever live in a world where, I mean,
does it matter?
These fines will just stop? Because what's the point? You think George Kittle cares?
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure it's not nothing.
Right.
Like $15,000 for any. I mean, obviously for you and me, that's backbreaking.
Yes.
And I'm sure George Kittle doesn't not feel that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Did you
that's
guys
like a
see
full
George
game
Kittle's
check.
comments on it? He said to the media, according to NFL and ESPN, 100% I'd do it again.
Of course
you would. Yeah.
Of course.
Who knows? The team might be paying for the fine. You know, like teams. You know.
Yeah.
Just insert some money into
So
some.
the NHL enforcers.
Yeah,
hey, we'll
exactly.
we'll wear those fines for
Exactly.
you. Big fella, just take care of our guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, shout out George Kittle.
Shout out.
The meme, a fine can get paid and go away.
Yep.
But a meme lives forever.
Right. And, you know, now in 15 years, when the Niners and the Cowboys square off again on Sunday Night Football, someone else will do it. And then we'll reference back to the George Kittle moment, which obviously is a reference back to, I think, in the early 90s. Or something
Exactly.
like
And
that.
then you have T.O. on the star. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
You got to take away something from these games. So shout out George Kittle and the whole personal thing. I know it's been almost a week now, but the whole, Micah Parsons, we made it. Stop it.
Come on.
What's personal? They don't want to see us? Nah, I think they do.
War T-shirt.
Yeah.
That was such a painful, hurtful t-shirt.
Exactly. You know what else is painful and hurtful? And I know he's actually not playing that bad, but the Russell Wilson saga in general, and Sean Payton, he's thrown him under the bus. I mean, the Broncos are a complete mess. And that leads me to the question, who is in the worst situation in the NFL? Because it's not as simple as you think, right? Because the Bears, they're in a position where they could get Caleb Williams, right? So I don't
two very high picks.
So I don't even know if it's the Bears.
Right.
It's this we continue to use this word, the purgatory.
Yeah.
And I think the Broncos are at the top of that list.
I think so. I mean, to me, it's the Broncos, and then I mean, yeah, if you wanted to put another team in there, it'd be the Bears. But like you said, I mean, they have at least an escape rope that's visible. It feels like the Broncos are in this for. I mean, the quickest I could see this thing turning around is like 2 or 3 years from now. Like, I don't think this is something that, they're going to get Russ out. They'll get a young quarterback in there or whatever, even a solid quarterback in there and save this whole situation. I think that this has gotten to the point where it's deep and like it's deep rooted, and it feels like it's a cancer that they almost need to completely just wipe and start the slate clean, which I know is tough to hear if you're a Broncos fan, because this was kind of meant to be a new fresh start with Russell Wilson coming in, and then Sean Payton coming in this year was meant to be another fresh start. And I mean, how many times can you really blow this thing up? It's I think actually that's what they need to do is to blow it up and start from the ground level. Yeah, it's kind of sad to me. I think Russell Wilson, he's, again, the shticks. And did you see that's the Subway commercials that never came out? No. Where he's like, and it's bad. Oh you got to watch them during the break. They never got released. I was watching the Family Football Faith TikTok. Wow. That one's terrible. That one's terrible. That one's all-time
Are you
classic.
talking about the Danger Witch commercials?
Yes, the Danger Witch.
Okay, I did see that.
Yeah, so they never even got released. I don't know what happened. And I was thinking yesterday when I was watching the game, just based on ages, you talk about respect, and you have to have respect for other players on the team, specifically your quarterback, right? If you look at this is a young man's game, and Russ is no spring chicken anymore. And if my math is correct, some of these dudes, they were in high school the last time Russ was that guy. Yeah. When he won a Super Bowl. Yeah. So I don't know that voice in the locker room and Marshawn doing his PR run and saying how he doesn't really mess with Russell like that. That was just my quarterback. I don't see how the Broncos can continue on like this. Yeah. And then I see reports of, the Broncos, if their record is bad enough, they'd be in the hunt for Caleb Williams too, or whoever, and they can just trade Russell Wilson. Trade him to who? We just talked about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's value, and I don't know what that is. Yeah. It's way higher than Russell Wilson.
No, Russell Wilson, you would have to actively say, we'll pay his contract. Just take him so that we don't have him on our team anymore. There was a moment yesterday in yesterday's game where it just really hit really hard home that these guys don't care about their quarterback at all. There was a moment where Russell Wilson was running. He was, scrambling, rushed out, ran to the sideline. I think he picked up a first down, and there was a late hit on him on the sideline. And normally when that happens, it wasn't flagged or anything. But even when that happens and there's no flag, you see linemen get into the other team's face. You see you just see the entire team swarm around and say, hey, don't try to even play those games. Like, we know you're trying to take a cheap shot on our quarterback. Like, there's always some sort of scuffle or skirmish that happens every single time a quarterback gets hit late like that. It happens. Yesterday, not a single soul. Didn't even flinch. Russell Wilson gets obliterated out of bounds. Nobody flinches. Nobody walks towards him. Nobody steps up to the Chiefs player or anything like that. Everybody just calmly walks back to the huddle like nothing happened. And at that moment, I was like, pretty much like you're saying, I just don't think these guys like him. I don't think they respect him. And I think it very much is this guy levitates above everyone else and wants to be treated differently. And I don't know if that's just what Marshawn said getting in my head, but in that moment, it came so clear to me that this guy, whatever it is, whatever the reasoning might be, he does not have this locker room. His voice does not carry weight with these guys.
No, and I think most of the time you need to have one of two things. You need to, well, number one, you have to be good, at least good. But if besides that, you either have to be just extremely elite at what you do, or you have to have some relatability, right? And Russell Wilson right now has neither.
He's not relatable to you. You don't find all of his corny, cringy material.
And look, as somebody who got corny jokes when I was growing up, I'm like, hey, Russ, he kind of gets a bad rap, but it's getting a little ridiculous now.
It's getting out of
and you're kind of leaning into it. The Broncos country, let's ride. It's more like let's hide these days. and I'm just and the thing is, as far as Russell Wilson and who we think he is as a quarterback, very confusing career, right? And I'm looking here at the other players and the idea that, hey, this is your leader and this is who it is. I mean, we got a lot. We got a lot of information these days, and we see huddles and things like that, and guys pumping up their teammates, and even some quarterbacks aren't as vocal. I mean, you hear Russell Wilson. Are you ready to ride when you hear Russell Wilson give a pump up?
No.
Are you ready?
No,
hey, you know what?
It always feels like it's in a movie,
right?
Yes.
I'm ready to go to war, right?
Script,
well, and then go back to Russell Wilson after Marshawn came out and said what he said. They went back to Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson talked about, oh yeah, we're. Oh man, Marshawn's my guy. We're close. It's so nice to see him. And I'm thinking, okay, well, somebody's lying. And most people felt, which is probably a fact, that Russell was being fake again.
Yes.
And authenticity is so important to everybody. And if I can't feel like you're,
today's age.
and then the whole having his separate room. I mean, what do you think? You're a movie star?
Exactly.
I know you're with Sierra, but that's not gonna jive with people unless you're that dude. Right. And it reminds me of seeing Aaron Rodgers. We were talking about it during the break, seeing Aaron Rodgers on Hard Knocks and with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Okay. He
felt like a real guy,
and he's the man.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you can mold these two. Just be, hey, I'm old. Yep. Russell Wilson is, I don't even know. He's like an amoeba. Yes. Like, I don't even know.
He's like an NPC as people like to say. He really is like like a fake person, like an AI robot.
Yes.
Almost. Where it's
he's
just
artificially generated.
Yes. I wouldn't say intelligence, but
yeah. So I don't know, man. They have to be in top 3 worst situations in the NFL.
I would say so. I mean, the Cardinals situation isn't great either. That's who knows which direction they're going to go. And, there's a couple other teams that are at the bottom of the standings this year that, like Carolina. I don't know how long of a rebuild they're in for, but it just feels like the Denver situation hurts the most because those other teams are, to an extent, trying to be bad. The Denver Broncos, both last year and this year, felt like, okay, this is going to be a 9 to 10 win season for us if things go right. And it has not gone right.
It ain't going right. All right, got to get to a break. We are done with the Broncos. We are done with the Chiefs. Right. Now it's time to talk some MLB playoffs. All that and more. Sactown Sports, Watkins and Stiles.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge Chrysler, Jeep Ram, and Woodland. What's happening with Ram Power Days?
We love American muscle, and right now is the last call on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger SXTs before they're gone, with lease payments as low as $399.
What about all those Ram trucks I see?
Save thousands with 0% financing for 72 months and $6,000 off MSRP on all new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn and Laramie Crew Cabs. And we all know 0% financing is almost impossible to find in 2023.
These deals can't last long. So hurry into Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram or see our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period.
Take 0% financing for 72 months plus $6,000 dealer discount. Offer on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. 0% for 72 months equals $13.89 per thousand borrowed. Lease new 2023 Dodge Charger or Challenger SXT for $399 a month for 42 months with $49.95 US signing plus tax, license fees, and any accessories. Offer subject to credit approval through U.S. Bank with 10,000 allowable miles per year. 25 cents per mile excess mileage charge. 5 each net savings. See dealer for details.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouth-watering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idiggreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on!
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's a new era in entertainment. Experience legendary performers like never before. All new and all incredible. This is the venue. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain. As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
This is Dr. Pamela Maida, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
Children especially benefit from arch supports as a sturdy and supportive foundation for their developing feet. If your kids have pain, then I recommend Youth Arch Supports from the Good Feet store.
Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain in the feet, knees, hip, or back. If your child is physically active with sports, clubs, or even on the playground, they may benefit from the comfort and support found in Good Feet Youth Arch Supports.
I firmly believe that investing in Youth Arch Supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make to support their feet.
See how Youth Arch Supports can help with a free arch support fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got big-time sports going on in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers play in Cleveland on Sunday. Coverage on Sactown Sports begins at 9 a.m. sharp. Then Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage of that game begins at 5 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports, and the game will be broadcast on ESPN at 6:30. In baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves last night with a 3-1 victory. This is the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won 100 games or more. That's the first time that has ever happened. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return for more Chris and Company with Stiles and Watkins.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins, on this fun Friday, having a little fun with the Denver Broncos and their situation, and even the Chiefs as well. They're having a little bit of fun, but no ring around the rosy so far.
Yeah, I forgot
That's when they were really rocking and rolling. So we'll see what happens with the Chiefs if the Niners meet them down the road. That would be in Vegas, and I think it's pretty safe to say that the Broncos will not be in Vegas unless they're just hanging out in Vegas.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no way.
So
No way.
MLB playoffs, electric.
Yeah.
Last night. Even somebody like Chris.
Even someone like
is now a baseball fan.
Okay.
Phillies, Braves. By the way, I love the powder blues from the Phillies.
Yes.
Shout
good.
out Palo Alto Oaks. That was a semi-pro team that I played for, and we had powder blue pants, and just the swag meter that you feel in a powder blue outfit, you just feel like you're not going to lose.
Feel indestructible.
And the Phillies did not lose. So not necessarily to break down that game, Ronald Acuna Jr. under the Mendoza line, very Mookie Betts-esque when it comes to his postseason. Not terrible.
Right.
This specific series was terrible, but his postseason stats aren't great. Let's not forget when the Braves won the whole thing, Ronald Acuna Jr. wasn't playing. So he really hasn't had an opportunity. Well, he's had an opportunity. He has not really solidified himself as that postseason dude like Bryce Harper has, even though he will probably win the MVP. But let's fast forward now to just the playoffs in general and the complaints about the structure.
Yeah.
Because now you have the teams with the 5 biggest win totals from the regular season are eliminated. The Braves, the Orioles, the Dodgers, the Rays, and the Brewers. And yesterday we talked about, is this good for baseball? Now we look at who's left. Rangers, Astros, the Battle of Texas. I mean, that's going to be huge in Texas.
It will.
Not sure how it's going to ring everywhere else. There's some star power there. And then you have obviously the Diamondbacks and now the Phillies, where I can guarantee you that Major League Baseball is praying that the Phillies win. Praying. No offense. And Kyle has on a Diamondbacks hat, but no offense to the Diamondbacks. That's just what they need. I think they would probably want a rematch of Phillies Astros.
Yeah.
I think that's most likely what they would want.
I would think so, just from the market perspective and from just like the namesake. Like, obviously both of the AL teams are in Houston or are in Texas, so it kind of is splitting hairs in terms of market size. But the Astros, obviously, with their run of success and just their name draw, they probably are the team that MLB would prefer. And then on the other side, it's pretty obvious that it's the Phillies all day for the MLB.
And now you have a lot of people saying a lot of things. Number one, there's still conversations about the Orlando Arcia situation.
Did you see that yesterday?
He's doing the nan. It was terrible.
That's not right.
It was so
bad. He pulled the
bad.
Klay Thompson. He was pointing to the ring.
He did.
It was so bad to the point where Acuna, he had to
I
pull
was
him
like,
around.
bruh, what do you? Yeah,
that was so bad.
Yeah, the Acuna thing it didn't it wasn't Acuna's intention, obviously, but him saying, "Hey, bro, chill, just
knock it
come
off."
on, knock it. That made it so much worse.
It was so bad. And look, if you are a relief pitcher, right, on baseball teams, normally the relief pitchers are the guys that are messing around, or if it's your off day, whatever it is. And this is the highest level. But homie, you're up in an inning or two, and you're messing around,
not locked in
at all.
Worried about
and
the
I'm
wrong
thinking,
thing.
because I love the drama, and I got ties to Philly, and just like our guy Kyle Draper, but at the same time, I just want drama. So I'm sitting here hoping I want Arcia to hit a bomb and I want him to do cartwheels around the base path. That's what I want you to I want you to stand up there for a minute and just watch the ball. He was not ready to go.
No.
The Braves were not ready to go. I mean, we've been making fun of the Dodgers because it's closer to home, literally and just figuratively. But they both choked. I mean,
there's no. I mean, you could argue the Braves was a much bigger. Though the Dodgers have done this multiple times,
right? Dodgers were injured.
Yeah,
Dodgers were injured. They're missing pitchers.
Yeah,
Braves were essentially fully loaded,
ready to go.
They did not show up. So now everybody is talking about the setup. 5 games. Is it enough? And we do this. I guess, is this the same thing to you as when it was Chiefs Bills? And there was the coin flip, and we got to change the playoff.
Right.
We got to change the playoff
the
setup.
Overtime rules and all that stuff. Yeah.
Is it different because of the season and the fact that, hey, maybe there is some burnout from the big teams because they've been rolling, and all of a sudden you get a team that gets hot? I guess it's more valid to me in that way, but ultimately somebody's always going to have something to say.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the bigger issue that I have is the fact that I think it's a disadvantage. I don't know how big it is, but I would definitely say that you're in a disadvantage as the team that has that bye. Like if you're the 1 seed or whatever, the team that gets that first round bye, the other team has a full series of gaining momentum. They're in rhythm. And then meanwhile, you're coming off of a great season. You haven't played in a while, and you're playing a team that has some momentum, has some good feeling, and is in the stride of things. And you're just kind of expected to pick it up day one. And, in a 5-game series, it's not like it's, it's what is it? It's 2-2-1, right? And that's not really that. Like, that puts so much pressure on having to come out the gate ready to go. You have to win that first game,
right?
Or else you're kind of putting yourself on your heels a little. To me, it just feels like that's the biggest thing that I have a problem with is you're losing all of the momentum that you clearly had. I mean, the Braves was 107, 108, whatever it was. Like, all that momentum is completely evaporated, and it's almost a completely different season in total. Like, it really does feel like I don't know if baseball likes the parody of it, but it feels like that's almost what they're incentivizing is to have those lower seeds have a bigger advantage so that there's a chance for an upset, because I don't know why else you would have 5-game series in all of these series leading into the World Series. To me, it just feels like you have this big marathon of a season for a sprint at the end.
Right.
And it's one thing's got to go. It's either you got to make the regular season shorter so it's more in line with your postseason
which they're
pace,
not going to do,
or elongate the playoffs, make them 7 games, maybe throw a day off in between those first 2 games. Like, I don't know why it has just because you play every single day during the regular season, why not give a day off in between each game for adjustments or for rest so that the guys are 100% going into that next. I just think there's a lot of things they could do to make this thing a little bit more even for the better teams. Honestly, it feels like, again, the better teams almost feel like they're at a disadvantage with how this current system is.
Yeah, I would probably be more in the camp of, and I've seen both things, because the thing is, you make that series 7. I don't really know how it.
I don't think it's
changes
changing
anything.
the Dodger series.
No, but I would actually say, okay, they expanded the amount of teams that get into the playoffs a couple years ago. Hey, good for you for getting in. Go back to the 1-game wild card.
Yeah,
that's what I would do, because now you don't get to get lathered and you know what I mean, get your pitching right and all that stuff. You get 1 game because you barely got in, and you're lucky that you got in. And we're still going to allow the teams that have been balling, keep them warm. So that's what I would do.
And you lose your opening day starter too.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a great point. So I would go back to the 1 game, but you can keep the DS at 5.
Sure.
I would just make that wild card 1 and just say, hey, you're lucky that you got in. Go ahead and give it your best go. That's what I would say.
I mean, for sure. Do you feel like first question, do you feel like Major League Baseball likes parity? Because to me, that's what this, again, I think that this is what this is pushing towards.
I don't think so.
Like, it feels like they almost are hoping for a March, I said it earlier, but like a March Madnessification of the playoffs.
I don't think they like it anymore.
Any team can win. Any team can get hot.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and I felt this way with the March Madness tournament for a while, people say they like parity, and then you get to the finals, and it's, what was San Diego State against UConn?
Right.
No one wants to actually see that. It's fun for the first couple rounds. You want to see upsets. You want to see juggernauts, struggle or sweat, and you want to see underdogs outperform those guys and be overlooked and have that story to follow. But I think when this thing finally gets towards the end, when it gets to the nitty-gritty, I don't think anyone realistically wants to see anyone but the best teams.
No, because sports is about feelings.
Yeah.
And you don't have feelings about the Tampa Bay Rays.
Nope.
You don't have feelings about the Arizona Diamondbacks. You don't have feelings about a lot of these teams that are still in it, right? I don't think a lot of people have feelings about the Texas Rangers, right?
No.
The Houston Astros, yes, because of what went down with the trash can banging, okay? The Yankees, yes. The Dodgers, yes.
Red Sox.
The Red Sox, yes. Those are the teams, and it's not just baseball, it's everything, right? Yeah. The dude at your local spot that went to San Diego State, he's juiced up, but there are not a lot of random people that are going to sign up to watch that. But I want to see Duke lose.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see North Carolina lose, right? So I think it's across the board, and that's why, what was it? The Suns, Bucks, that finals was terrible.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Whereas I'll watch Steph versus LeBron part 18,
right?
Because I still either want to see LeBron lose at that point or I want to see Steph lose at that point. And that goes back to that conversation about the face of the NBA. I mean, you could make the argument LeBron, that whole move to Miami, that helped the NBA because the hate watching that the Heatles got was through the roof.
Yeah.
Who are you hate watching, or who? I guess the Astros, but
Astros
again,
is it. But even then, like I don't know if
they lost Correa, who was a huge
care.
villain.
Yeah.
He went up to Minnesota, and they did make the playoffs, and they faced off. But yeah,
Isn't Philadelphia as a concept just hateable? Like, people can hate
so.
Philadelphia.
They can, but it's more about the Eagles.
The team also has to kind of lean into that hatred too.
Yeah, I know Bryce is an interesting one, but they do have some hateable guys. But the problem is they're probably going to face. You have to win too. You got to win the whole thing, right? So the problem is they're probably going to face the Astros, and most people are going to hate the Astros
way more than
we want to hate the Phillies. They're just too darn likable
right now. Right? It's just. If it's the Astros versus the Phillies, all right, I guess I want the Phillies to win.
I just don't think that there's – I mean, this is more speaking from the casual. I don't think that there's many, like, you know, there's not the what is the storyline for hating Philly besides the fact that they're just in Philly?
Yeah. I mean,
you know, like, I don't
Bryce,
really know.
some of these guys, but I mean, I'd say the Sixers might even be more hateable because of Harden and
yeah,
Embiid.
and even that, I mean, I don't really know if people hate Philly fans for being – Philly fan. Like, I just think that people are like, they're not very nice. I don't think people actively are like, I don't, you know, like people actively hate Cowboys fans because they're loud. I'm not like, I don't think anyone is like, oh, Philadelphia Eagles fans or Philadelphia fans in general. I don't hear it at least.
There's a lot of it. There's
annoying.
A lot of it down in the Bay because the Niners face the Eagles. There is a lot of it. You know, some of my buddies went out there. So, all right, we got to get to a break. We are just blowing by. Great show so far. Got to get to a break. Steven, we see you on the line, wants to talk about the baseball playoffs. Hang on, we got a quick break, and we will come to you right out of the break, I promise, at 916-339-1140 if anybody else wants to be a part of the conversation. We will transition to Brock Purdy and the Niners. Are they boring? Yes or no? All that and more. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
We are back. A Meek Mill Friday, maybe, with Kyle on it.
It's a Philadelphia Friday, right?
Oh, I like that. A Philly Friday. Get a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, Philly beat the Braves. Let's celebrate with, I think, the only Philadelphia artist I know.
Okay, that's fair
Other than
enough.
Will
Lil
Smith.
Uzi. Lil Uzi is from
Oh,
Philly.
Lil
as well.
Uzi's from Philly?
Yeah, Lil Uzi's from Philly. Shout out Lil Uzi.
Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, wait. Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Styles and Watkins, but so Jada Pinkett is on another world tour. Not to go TMZ on you, but here now she's talking about how her and Tupac were soulmates.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw someone say the funniest thing I've ever read in my life, and it was like, at this rate, Phil's gonna play Puff in the Tupac biopic.
Come on, man.
I was like,
it's
that's
crazy. She just is relentless.
Yeah.
And you know what? I appreciate
She's
it.
a savage.
I appreciate
She is
it.
a savage.
She is committed to the shtick. All right. And she's going to tell you information that you didn't ask for.
Did not.
If there's one thing she's
Them
going
red
to do.
table talks are crazy.
Oh, I'm going to let you know something that you had no clue that you cared about.
Yep.
All right. Let's get out to Steven, who wants to talk baseball playoffs. What's up, Steven? You're on with Stiles and Watkins.
Gentlemen, how's it going? Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
What you got for us?
Okay, so I'm hearing all this talk about baseball playoffs. The 100-win teams are all losing, and we need to change the format and stuff like that. I'm a guy that just firmly believes that if you can't make it, and if you can't do it in the playoffs, then what are we even talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, if the Dodgers can't make it happen, if Clayton Kershaw is going to be the biggest choke artist, the most overrated postseason pitcher in baseball history. Hot take right there. Sorry about that.
We love it.
So, I mean, let's be real, man. If you can't make it happen and you can't beat the team that's in front of you, then why do we need to change the format? I feel like it should be on the teams, not on baseball, for them to get what they need to get. You know what I'm saying? If they want to win, they want to make it to the World Series. Well, you know, it's just like playing video games, man. There's a couple of video games out there that you can play. You know, you don't go into the settings and try to change things around. You just get good. You know what I'm saying? Simply just get good. Is that not part of the conversation here as far as like what the main general topic is regarding this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a pure version of sports. And I think the problem is we can't forget that sports is entertainment. And I think a big part of that is you unfortunately have to give not massive, but you have to give advantages to teams that produce well in the regular season. And in a perfect world, absolutely. Like even is even, fair is fair. You play who's in front of you. You play under the same circumstances. Whoever wins, wins. But I think the reality of the situation is teams need to feel like the regular season has some sort of importance, and being successful in the regular season needs to have a set of advantages that lead itself to those teams winning more times than not. I just think that's I could be wrong on that, but I feel like that's just how a lot of sports or organizations in MLB, NFL, NBA, I think that's how they operate.
That's very fair because, I mean, like you guys were saying with the Warriors, everyone wants to see the Warriors. Everyone wants to see Steph beat up LeBron and LeBron beat up Steph. Everyone wants to see that. But when the playoffs, when the Warriors or the Lakers, i.e. Steph and LeBron, when they're not in the playoffs, it changes the whole dynamic and the feel of the playoffs. Like they always say, like the playoffs, it's better when the Yankees are in the playoffs. Yep. It's better when, you know, all the big teams. It's always better when the big teams, the big names are in the playoffs. So with that being said, that's a very good counter argument, and that's very fair. So thank you guys for asking the question, and thank you for your time. I appreciate
absolutely.
it.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah,
Steven.
great call, Steven. Shout out, Steven. Yeah, I think ultimately the question is regular season, what you do in the regular season, are those teams getting enough of an advantage, right? So basically you don't have to play a 3-game series and you get home field in a 5-game series. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask. Some people might say, what more do you want? You didn't have to play in the first round. You got 2 games at home, right? I think that what we saw with a lot of these series, I mean, the Dodgers got swept, but a lot of these series, that team that's rolling, they sneak that first game. And now,
again, you're on your back foot.
Right. And now that team is, okay, we go
home
home and we get 2 more and it's wrap. It's done. So I think that really it just comes down to, do you think that these teams are getting enough of an advantage? And there's always going to be a conversation. When it was 1-game series, everybody said, that's not fair to the wild card teams. Right. You know, the A's, they struggled in that one. How many years did the A's? And I'm just sitting here. What was it against the Royals at home?
There was a Yankees year.
Come on, A's, you know, and everybody's saying 2
games or 3 games, whatever.
Do something. And there's always going to be something. I think Major League Baseball does have to look at this, because if this continues to happen, they already have a problem with it. I know attendance was up, you know, and everybody's Manfred's throwing that in everybody's face, and he's, you know, even roasting the A's fans a little bit. But it's a terrible look. But ultimately, if your regular season, this continues to happen and the regular season doesn't matter, not only are are fans not going to show up?
Right.
Teams might say, you know what? Who cares? Who cares who gets what?
Yeah.
I don't know what the version of load managing is in baseball.
That's
but
exactly what
let's just hang around the dance.
It's going to turn into the NBA where it's just, I don't know how exactly. I don't know if it's going to be load management or what it's going to look like. But if you devalue the regular season, which is kind of what's happening. I mean, I don't know if this is just us overreacting because this is this is almost an extreme case where all of the top teams are falling out. But if you don't incentivize the regular season, teams are going to adjust accordingly. And you'll see players resting more. And I just think that in a sport that's as random as baseball is on a given day, like the Royals or the A's can beat the Braves on a given day in baseball. Like it just feels like there needs to be a little bit more margin for error for those teams to, and I don't know if that's fair or not either. Like, but it feels like they just need to be given. And I don't know if it's 5, like in a 5-game series, it's giving 5 home games. Is that too much? Like, you don't want the pendulum to swing too far in the other way, but it's a very imperfect thing. And I don't know. I think the problem is baseball needs to figure out what side they want to fall on. Like I said, it's either entertainment or sport. And right now it kind of feels like baseball is in this area where it is, hey, like both teams are under pretty much the same circumstances. Go out there and play, and whoever wins.
Right. But there is something to be said about, hey, you play to win the game and get it done. I think what could happen is that form of load management is more farhand ball, more far ball, and more openers. And nobody wants that. No. I know I don't, because that is not the baseball that I grew up to love.
Yeah.
So,
and Giants fans should not be the ones who are saying, more, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the Giants directly 3 titles benefited off of essentially being the underdog team that took advantage of a lot of those good teams.
Sometimes you just got to get hot. All right, we know who's hot. That's the Niners. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Brock Purdy and the Niners, are they so good that it's boring? We'll discuss all that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
The NorCal Sportsman Show is coming October 14th and 15th at the grounds in Roseville. Get huge year-end deals on everything outdoor. Hunting, fishing, camping, golf, and more. Plus free interactive family activities, live music, the Big O Tires Custom Car Show, and a real catch and release pond from Fisherman's Warehouse. Don't miss this first ever event, sponsored by Roseville Auto Mall. Get your tickets now at NorCalSportsmanShow.com. That's NorCalSportsmanShow.com.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057-618.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hey guys, do you know what makes Revive Men's Health Sacramento different? You.
Every Revive treatment and medication is personalized just for you. Revive has the experts that guys go to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their daily performance. Since 2011, they've helped thousands of local men suffering with the symptoms of low T and ED. Their goal is simple: to get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. Your best performance requires more than generic ED medications or a low-dose testosterone booster at a low-ball price like you find online. Revive medications are custom compounded, affordable, and guaranteed to resolve your issues. Stop dealing with the symptoms of low T or ED. Book your free T-check and exam and save $199 today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit us at revivemenshealth.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pi customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pi Insurance.
We heard about Pi Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pi a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pi.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We've got big-time sports here in Sacramento this weekend. First, the 49ers play in Cleveland on Sunday. Coverage begins on Sactown Sports at 9 a.m. sharp Sunday morning. Then on Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage begins at 5 o'clock p.m. here on Sactown Sports, and the game will broadcast on ESPN at 6:30. In baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves last night in Game 4. It's the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won 100 or more games. Reminder that all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Let's return to more of Chris and Company with Stiles and Watkins.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Allen Stiles, Chris Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. We were talking about the Dodgers, the Braves, all these teams that weren't able to get it done. And Dwayne Baker on the YouTube chat.
It needed to be said.
Is it fair? Is it not fair? Dwayne Baker, they wanted the top seed. Team's pitching staff to get rest. Well, they got it. Suck it up, Buttercup. Play like you did to win 104 games. Yeah. And Dwayne, I can't really disagree with that.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, I can say that this is unfair and that these 107-win teams need to have a bigger advantage so that, they can continue on. But also, like, tough stuff, man. That's sports. Like, be better.
I got a weird one for you, and I don't think that time would allow it, but it's an interesting thought. Kind of like when you're playing pickup and, hey, do you want, or in football more so, hey, do you want to defer or do you want to take the ball?
Yeah.
What if after the series, and I know there's not a lot of time, but what if after the series ends, the wild card series, that top seed gets to choose whether they want to start at home or start on the road? I don't know how much it would help, but I still think I want the one game wild card back. But then at least
it's a 2-3 series where it's 2 on.
Well, I don't even know how that
for the top seeded team, it would be 2 on the road and then 3 straight at home.
3 straight at home.
I don't hate that. Like I definitely don't hate that, especially.
It's not perfect.
I mean, because then it's like, well, now you're telling us, and I think we were talking about this the other day. Where do you fall? Because you played baseball.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think the home road advantage really comes to like, where would you say it ranks amongst the other sports?
Amongst other sports, I think it matters.
Okay.
I think it matters because baseball is the most bizarre sport where the regulations are different.
Right,
everywhere.
the fields are different.
The fields are literally
Right,
different.
yeah.
If I'm the Yankees, I want to play in that Little League field.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? The Red Sox, that same thing. If I'm the Giants, I have actually a quick story. So I was playing at a junior college, Kenyatta College, right? They have a big net, right? And we're losing. You know, it was the top of the ninth or bottom of the ninth, right? And curveball comes in, 3-2 count, and we had the big net, and I smack it. And one thing about me, my launch angle was not launching. I was line drive Johnny. Yeah. I didn't know. So before the games, the coach would say whether hitting the net was a home run or not. So that game, I guess he was afraid that the other team was going to get jiggy. Yeah. So he said, it's got to go over the net. I didn't know. I'm thinking I hit a walk-off. Yeah. First walk-off of my life. Yeah. Right? Walk-off bomb. It. Yeah. I'm like, let's go. He's going like this at second base. I'm like, what you talking about? Yeah. The game is over. So I guess, it would be able to control the field a little bit more and do some different things. But I think if I'm ranking it, I would say basketball is number one.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because the crowd is so close to you.
Yeah.
I might go
go
baseball too, just because of the rules. You literally get an advantage.
Sure.
And the field. I might go football 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I don't necessarily think that the crowd plays all too big of a factor in football. It definitely matters, but I don't think it's like, I don't think it
the
really
only reason football. Yeah, baseball's a weird one to me. The only reason football is interesting is because of weather.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm Miami and I get to play in Miami instead of Buffalo
for
the AFC Championship, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty big. And like, if it's a dome or if it's outdoors but like in terms of like crowd noise, it doesn't sometimes like in football, obviously, you have to hear the calls coming in, but it just doesn't feel like momentum really, depends because, in football, the crowd is quiet when the team's on offense. So like how much impact does the crowd really have in terms of like, swinging momentum? I don't really think it really applies in football so much, but I think that's interesting what you stated up top. Like, should they be able to choose or I just feel like in general, like it's something like you can't spot them runs. Obviously you can't say, the better seed starts off up 1-0 or anything like that. But I do think that just a minor tweak needs to happen, like getting able to choose if you want to, or maybe even if it's as simple as just like picking your opponent, maybe even, I don't know if you can do that, but.
Right. And I know there are also, and Kyle, there was also conversation about the actual opponents and how they broke up because it's not necessarily for baseball. I know there are people upset about, hey, well, who the Dodgers got to play and how that kind of.
Yeah, no. So in football, the team that gets the bye always plays the highest seed that advances, right?
Like
so
it's like reseeded.
Yeah.
Essentially,
So like if the 6 seed beats the 3 seed, 6 plays 1 and then 4 plays 2 or whatever. That's how the Cowboys
it's
play
not a
the
bracket.
Niners.
Like it's not a true bracket.
Yeah, baseball is a true bracket. So like if they had the football format, it would have been D-backs and Braves in the NLDS and then Dodgers and Phillies playing in the NLDS instead of how they did it right now. Like the Braves were at a disadvantage technically because the Diamondbacks beat the 3-seeded Brewers.
Well, yeah, and if you're the Dodgers, I don't want to hear anything because I'm sure the Dodgers were very happy that they got the Diamondbacks.
Right.
Then they got housed.
Yeah,
so, there's always going to be some conversation, YouTube chat, what about hockey? I'm not sure about hockey. I've been to a couple hockey games. And by the way, one of the best live sports, by the way. You got to go take a trip, get a hotel, go see the Sharks. It's worth it. I even went and saw the Barracudas, and it was worth it too. All right, and it's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, I hear hockey environments are just different.
It's crazy.
Like, it's different.
It's crazy. I'm not going to say I'm cheap, but we did have the last seat in the house.
Sure,
could see everything.
Didn't matter.
Could see everything. So, but as far as the other teams, again, it's kind of like basketball where it's a controlled environment. All the ice is the same. There's no weather. So I can't see it mattering as much. That's what's tough about this conversation because off top I said basketball's number one. But honestly, I'm going to rescind that remark because basketball to me, if you can get through, and road teams will tell you, we can get through that first quarter flurry where the crowd is crazy, right? The crowd, now you're up, you're getting hot dogs, you're getting whatever the third, third quarter, nobody. Now, it's a little different in playoff games, but I don't know how much, and weirdly, basketball players kind of thrive on it, right? I feel like it's the best environment where a basketball player, where I want to quiet them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're looking at the crowd. So basketball, I think I might have to take that back. I might have to drop basketball down a little bit.
It wouldn't surprise me if hockey's actually probably. I just don't know. I feel like basketball is near the top. I don't know if it is the exact top. It's just so hard. When I think of basketball being on the road, I think more of game sevens and how tough it is to win a game 7 in a road environment. It's almost like, I think like 85% of teams win the home game 7. And so that's the only reason why I would give the hat tip to basketball. But in general, it doesn't feel like, even in general across the board, it feels like home court advantage or home field advantage means less than ever just across the board. I don't know what that's been about, but it feels like teams have done a better job of being prepared for road environments in like the past 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, I think basketball is at the top because it's the easiest to get punched in the mouth. From being on the road.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from.
It's hard to come back from, and then you're fighting, and now the crowd is really into it.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like the Suns owner that like elbowed Jokic in the playoff series.
Well,
the crowd is really into it.
There was the Raptors, with the Warriors, that whole situation. So there's
so weird.
And basketball in
Shannon
general.
Sharp.
Why at this point in time are the seats still so close?
Why are people sitting on the court?
Why is that still happening in the year, year of 2023?
I have no idea. And I think the same, I almost have a bigger problem with the photographers too. They have the photographers on the baseline.
Them
and
lenses are good enough. You don't need to be that close.
Totally fine. Like, you don't need to be physically sitting on the court. I love basketball pictures. They're some of the best in all of sport. But I just feel like it causes so much danger that these massive 6'5", 6'8" guys are running full speed trying to block somebody, and then they have to stop on a dime because there's a row of guys sitting at their shins pretty much, ready to trip them or whatever. LeBron, I think, still has a scar on his head from when he hit the camera in that final. So I have no idea why people are still allowed on the court.
Yeah, but until and you just said LeBron, but unless it's somebody else who really like a serious and
I think of the Paul George injury. That's the first place my mind goes.
That was even one of them. All right, getting to a break. When we get back, Niners, are they boring or are they just that darn good? All that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Mike Woods, PGA Director of Golf at Hagen Oaks Golf Complex, says pace of play registers as very important to most golfers, so he offers a few tips to help. When you're in a cart, drop your partner at his ball and drive to your ball. While your partner is hitting a shot, you can be getting ready for your shot, and your partner can meet you at the cart. Move to the next shot before putting your club back in the bag. That way, you're putting one back and taking a new one, all in the same motion and time frame. Now line up your putt while others are already putting, so you're ready when it's your turn. And you probably don't need to mark 2-foot putts, unless, of course, it's a tournament or a big money match. Save writing your scores until you reach the next tee. And it's not enough to be ahead of the group behind. Stay up with the group in front. It's a game. Have fun. And let everyone else have fun as well with a great pace of play. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Players know it's not just because you win more, it's because of everything else at Gold Country Casino Resort, where players roll in and winners are made. Winning isn't the only thing on the menu, and nightlife, it's more than entertaining. Drinks and dining options are abundant and guaranteed to satisfy your innermost desires. Come be our guests and see why Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is where the players play.
Global Touchpoints Inc. has job openings for a software developer and an SDLC project management analyst lead in Roseville, California. Please send resumes to Global Touchpoints Inc., located at 3017 Douglas Boulevard, Suite 300, Roseville, California, 95661. No walk-ins, please.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, as we take you up to 2 p.m. Stiles and Watkins, Watkins and Stiles. And now it is time to talk some Niner football as they prepare for my guy from T for Temple U, PJ Walker and the Browns.
Yep.
And another week, I would assume, of the Niners taking care of business, even though they have to go to the dog pound.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really going to bother them. I think it'll probably, a game like this, you know, and Myles Garrett and these guys, I think that you'll see a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Christian McCaffrey, and I think he's going by J.P. Mason now. No longer
yeah,
Jordan
I know.
Mason.
I went through the same struggle.
Yeah. So
this
J.P. And I'll tell you this about Elijah Mitchell, and this is, you know, nobody's ever going to joke somebody not playing, but I said when he got hurt in the preseason, I did not think that he should be the number 2 running back because you can't count on him.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, not at this point.
Even
in time.
as a backup, he's been hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you only had a couple carries. What happened here? He's hurt again. Jordan Mason, and I think Kyle Shanahan probably figured, unfortunately, that this would work itself out.
Yeah.
When Elijah Mitchell comes back, I can't see how Kyle Shanahan has him number 2 running back.
Yeah, I mean, especially when how Jordan Mason played. Was that last week where he was their leading rusher as well? Like, He played really well, and it would surprise me. I mean, they even have Ty Davis Price in the wings, who he's especially in the preseason, he looked pretty solid. So, I don't think it's just another place where the 49ers have ridiculous depth. And that's, again, pointing at the fact that even with injury, this team has so many fail safes built into it that it almost doesn't matter. And yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be interesting thing to follow this year, because that was really a big player for them. I think Elijah Mitchell was someone that they were planning to kind of say like, hey, even if McCaffrey doesn't have it going, we have another number one quality running back ready to kind of, switch up in the action and always keep a fresh body out there. And they haven't been able to do it. I mean, McCaffrey has been run not into the ground, because I think he can do this for 18 weeks, but they've used him in every single way possible, and they really struggle to get him off of the field, it seems like.
Yeah, and that started early, and then later in the season, it almost felt like they were forcing the Elijah Mitchell thing, and I think that's when he got hurt.
Yes, exactly.
Right, and
I think he had like the same amount of carries as touches as Christian McCaffrey.
I think that might have been the Giants game when it looked a little muddy, and then you do eventually get to JP Mason, but they're still putting Debo in the backfield for some odd reason. I don't know if that's just
we're paying him for we paid him with the intention of playing him at running back, so we'll throw him in once a game just to say we
keep the team on their heels, keep the other team on their heels. So I don't think that the Niners are going to have a big problem.
Does the weather concern you at all? I guess I've been hearing that it's been rainy all week in Cleveland.
That's why I said a lot of running.
Yeah,
a lot of running. And you know what's funny is in baseball, there was a time where the one batting glove was hot in the streets. JP Mason has that as a running back. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. He only wears one glove, and I don't know why. And I'm going to be honest with you, it kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
Do you know which hand it is?
That's what I was thinking too, but I don't think it matters. I'm
going to look up highlights during the break.
Okay.
But yeah, it's only one. I've never seen that on a running back ever.
That's so strange. I'm even trying to think of like what would be the benefit of having one on. Like maybe it's like a stiff. I don't know.
Now, if it's raining, I'm curious. Do you go two?
Do you go two? I would. I mean, I guess if you're concerned at all about if you're wearing the one glove in the first place because of you're concerned about grip or anything like that, I would definitely double it up.
I would double it up.
Looks like right hand.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing, looks like right hand glove.
He's catching it. He's getting it with his top, so he's pushing it down.
I wonder which one he holds it. Like, is that the hold ball, or is that?
It depends which side you're on, because if you're on the left side, you're holding it closer to the sideline. If you're on the right side, you're holding it with the glove.
So, I think that's your number two moving forward, even when Elijah Mitchell comes back. And that's the thing about Elijah Mitchell. The way he runs, to your point, he looks like he gets shot out of a cannon.
Yes.
When he starts running, it looks like he's got a much more than a 5-yard running start. Head start. It looks like he's already been running. He hits top speed very quickly. But I think, with Kyle Shanahan, he has a type, right? Just like you watch The Bachelor, you watch Love Island. Hey, I like my guy. I like women that look like this or whatever. Kyle Shanahan likes guys that aren't afraid of contact. Kyle Shanahan likes guys that want to be a part of contact and that want to inflict pain. And Elijah Mitchell is a very tough runner, but some people are more built for it than others, and it does not look like right now his body is built for it.
Yeah.
And I can't see the Niners keeping him number two when he comes back, especially if JP Mason gets going here. But I don't know, man. I say all this to say they're going to go to the dog pound. They're going to take care of business. Do you find the Niners boring to watch?
I don't find them boring to watch. I kind of, funny enough, because it's our job, I kind of find them becoming increasingly difficult to talk about because there's so many. I mean, it becomes the point where I just feel bad. Like, I feel like how many different ways can we say Brock Purdy looks incredible without going too far to where people have gone of, Brock Purdy looks like the best quarterback in the NFL, or is the best quarterback, or is an elite quarterback, like without going too far into that conversation. And I think it's just tough. I mean, a part of narrative building, a part of storytelling is fighting through adversity, and 49ers haven't found any adversity. There's not really any major holes that it's like, we really need to, yes, they've gotten by all of these weeks without being tested in this one area, but you have to, where is the hole in the Death Star? And it's just, I think we're still searching. We're still looking at the blueprint of the building, because I just, at the beginning of the season, it was, will Jake Moody be able to fill in the shoes of Robbie Gould? Well, he hasn't missed a kick yet. Will the right side of the line be able to hold up without McGlinchey, and will Colton McKivitz be able to fill that hole? I mean, it looked a little shaky in week 1 going against TJ Watt, and maybe this week against Myles Garrett it might look shaky, but it definitely hasn't caused the Niners much difficulty on the offensive end, and their secondary, I think, is still a question mark if there is one on their defense. And they've been tested. Josh Dobbs looked pretty good, and there's been moments where quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett definitely didn't look good, but there's been moments where quarterbacks have looked decent. They just haven't really been seriously tested in any way that I think it would be good for us to have a long conversation about, is it a legitimate weakness? Now, I'm not saying they're indestructible, but how these games have played out, there just really hasn't been much besides incredibly positive things to say. And, as a radio personality, I don't want to just come on here and talk about how awesome and how fantastic people are. I don't think that's what I think, if you can hear it for a little bit, but no one wants to hear about it for 3 months straight.
No. And I think what's tough is that the Niners have gotten so close and they've been the bridesmaids so many times.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Niner fans are enjoying this, but are also just anxious.
Me up when.
Right. A little anxious because, hey, is this the year that we're going to get it done? And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you don't get it done this year, I don't know when you're going to get it done, because everything that you have going for you right now, assume same health, right? Assume good health. Everything you have rolling for you right now, the fact that the NFC is not very strong, with the Eagles losing their offensive coordinator. We just earlier talked about the Chiefs. They don't look like the world beaters that they used to. This has to be the year. So you're enjoying this and you're looking forward. I mean, is it to the point now? Football's football, and the whole idea of football's like pizza. It's always good. I mean, are there Niner fans out there, and 916-339-1140? Are there Niner fans out there? Are you still juiced? Are you juiced to watch the Niners versus the Browns? Is football? Because I'll watch, and I'm just hoping for a good game. I'm hoping for something to take from this moving. We did the same thing with the Eagles last year when they were steamrolling. At some point, you have to get tested, or maybe you don't, right? But then you're going to go into the playoffs and just think, okay, I guess they're just going to keep rolling here, right? I think everybody was thrilled with how the Niners just destroyed the Cowboys, but I do think there's probably some fans out there that maybe felt, man, it would have been nice to just get a little test here. But ultimately the question becomes, is there nobody to test us in the league? In the league. I wish.
Well, and to me, that's the thing that Niners fans should be watching. Like, that's really the only thing that you should be watching for. Like, is there a team out there that can test you? And again, I think a lot of Niner fans are wake me up when the playoffs start right now, because even, me and Zachariah were talking about it a lot last week, but even if the Niners lost to the Cowboys, it would have been better for banter back and forth, and it would have given us something to talk about. But realistically, that's not changing. I don't think it would have. The Niners could have gotten blown out 30-3 in that game. I don't think we would have been saying, I feel that like the Niners aren't that team this year.
Right.
Like, it might have added a wrinkle.
Yeah.
But I don't think it changes the overall look of the team. I think it still would have been, this team is championship or bust anyway. Like, you might lose to the Cowboys in a given week, but it doesn't change the fact that this team looks like they're Super Bowl quality.
Yeah. All right, break time. When we get back, Brock Purdy, does he need all the weapons that he currently has, or could he get it done if he didn't have them? All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
The NorCal Sportsman Show is coming October 14th and 15th at the grounds in Roseville. Get huge year-end deals on everything outdoor. Hunting, fishing, camping, golf, and more. Plus free interactive family activities, live music, the Big O Tires Custom Car Show, and a real catch and release pond from Fisherman's Warehouse. Don't miss this first ever event, sponsored by Roseville Auto Mall. Get your tickets now at NorCalSportsmanShow.com. That's NorCalSportsmanShow.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Jeep Adventure Days?
With gas prices skyrocketing, good gas mileage is more important now than ever. And right now, you can save up to $11,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4xe plug-in hybrid.
But what about hauling the family around?
Well, save even more with up to $14,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4xe plug-in hybrid. Great mileage and big savings on one of America's most loved SUVs.
These deals can't last long, so hurry in to Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram or see our whole selection at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $11,000 total Wrangler 4xe net savings on lease only after $8,500 factory rebates and $2,500 dealer discount. $14,000 total Grand Cherokee 4xe net savings on lease only after $11,500 factory rebates and $2,500 dealer discount. Lease options subject to credit approval. Not everyone will qualify. Rebates include $7,500 federal tax credit rebate. Subject to change without notice. 5 of each net savings. See dealer for details.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass. from Pierre on Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got big-time sports here in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers play Cleveland this weekend. Coverage on Sactown Sports is going to begin at 9 a.m. sharp Sunday morning. Then on Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage of that will begin at 5 p.m. here on Sactown Sports, and the game broadcast will be on ESPN at 6:30. The Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves in the baseball playoffs last night. It's the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won at least 100 games. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And now let's return for Hour 3 with Allen Stiles and Chris Watkins here on Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins taking you up till 2 p.m. And it is time to talk a little bit of Brock Purdy. Riding dirty with Purdy.
Oh.
Okay. The Brock Star.
The Brock
Party like a
Star.
Brock Star. All those. I went through. I had a whole
list of them.
Now I'm trying to think of
the Brock Ness Monster.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a new one.
Yeah. Brock and roll.
Brock and roll.
Dirty Brock.
Yeah. Dirty Purdy.
He's pretty good.
Purdy. I've got a couple different fantasy leagues that I've got some players in my league that are like, oh, my team's pretty good. Pretty sure you're gonna lose this week.
Enough.
I'm like, come on.
Enough.
These are pretty annoying now.
Okay. We'll allow it on a Friday. We'll allow it. You get maybe one more and you're done. All right. But the Niners aren't done. They're nowhere near it. And Brock Purdy isn't done. He does look electric right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it in a way that, I don't know, sometimes maybe a comp isn't necessary, right? I agree, it's fun and it helps, but I don't know who his comp is. Is it Drew Brees?
No. I mean, Drew Brees is the NFL's all-time leading passer, like in passing yards. Like, I don't know.
He's cooking.
Well, I mean, it's so, and that's the thing is, it's still so early in his career.
Yeah.
What is he at 17 games? Is this going to be his, or is he not?
No, I don't think it's been that many. I think it's 10 regular season plus the 2 playoff games. So this is 13.
Yes, this is his 13th game. So yeah, I mean, we're still so early in his career that it's, I mean, we're not throwing. I don't think it would be wise to throw comps on CJ Stroud. Like, you just don't know what these guys are going to turn into. Like, you can have a good rookie season and then turn things around in a negative way. I'm not saying that's what's going with Brock, but it's just it's dangerous. Like, I just don't know if we've seen a big enough sample size to really say we confidently know how high the trajectory is going to go. Because I mean, if we're saying small quarterbacks who have succeeded, it's Drew Brees, really, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as long as that list goes. But the style of play is, and this is even more dangerous, the style of play is a little more Brady-esque. But of course, you can. That's like saying,
But did Brady move like this though?
No, like he wasn't as, especially down the field, gaining rushing yards. Definitely not. Purdy, Nate, who's another board op here, always likes to throw this stat of, tracking for 10 yards down the field. He's just barely slower than Lamar Jackson.
Right, they have the same 10-yard split.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not saying Purdy's that, but and Brady definitely wasn't that. But Brady had some mobility in the pocket, and Brock is he's definitely still a pocket passer, but he's a little less confined to the pocket. I don't know. I mean, I to your initial point, I don't know if it's necessary to do a comp, because it just feels like you can't do it without either, again, which is kind of just become the paradox of the Brock Purdy conversation. I don't think you can give him a comp without swinging too far to either way. Like, I don't think you can properly put where it seems like he is, because we just haven't had a lot of quarterbacks in this kind of situation either. Like, if you take Brock Purdy as an independent player, we just don't know what it's going to look like. And so it's hard to put him in comparison with somebody when more than likely you're going to put him with somebody who has this grand career that is a lot attributed to themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And we've talked earlier in the show about Russell Wilson. I likened what Brock Purdy is doing right now, similar to Russell Wilson with the Seahawks early on with the Legion of Boom, Marshawn. Hey, just don't mess it up.
Yep.
Just don't mess it up and make some plays when we need you to. At first, I had people telling me, well, don't forget, Russell was a budding star, right? And this was early on in the season. I said, yeah, I get it. Now I think we can go and put Brock in that category of budding star. Now, to be fair, Russell didn't have the weapons that Brock has. Right. He had a really elite defense, didn't have the weapons that Brock had. But I do think it's similar, both on rookie deals. Yep. Both could win a Super Bowl on the rookie deal, and we would still sit back and say, this guy either is really good or is in a really good situation, right? One of those two, and maybe it's both. The further along we get in his career, we'll see what happens this season. Brock is probably in the most unique situation because they could win a Super Bowl and there would still be people that would say,
doubt him.
Hey, I mean, think about all the problem with Brock is we know that he's better than a lot of quarterbacks than they would be in this current situation. The other side of it is we believe that there are also a good amount of quarterbacks that would look really good in this situation.
Right.
So that's why it's hard to decide where Brock is. And you can sit here. Now, Dan Orlovsky earlier this week, I don't know if you saw this, Dan Orlovsky said, and he is kind of a Brock hater, he said that Mac Jones would look like no. Can we stop?
No, that's ridiculous.
Mac and cheese, really?
That's hating. That's
what I had last night for dinner, but that is not what I want as my quarterback, not mac and cheese.
No, there's no that's again, that's taking the pendulum too far the other way and saying Brock is just merely a not victim, but a circumstantial thing.
Yes.
And that's just
a product of his environment,
which he is to an extent for sure, but it's not the thing that people continue to just not give Brock the credit for is he's not turning the ball over. Like it's one thing to have these weapons, but it's another thing to still not give up the ball, not be reckless, not turn the ball over fumbling wise, either, like not getting sacked and just looking, making dumb mistakes. Brock checks so many boxes just in terms of comfortability. And I don't think that there's a lot of because even Russell Wilson, he was chaotic. And that was part of his game was making these, one score games in the fourth quarter. And then Russell Wilson scrambles from one side to the other and then just throws it up in the air and gets a miraculous play or makes a miraculous play himself. Yeah. Brock's not like that. Brock is just very, I don't want to say vanilla, but it is I think he contributes to the quote unquote boredom, if you will, of this team. There's not really a lot of, he doesn't really put the ball out there for 50-50 plays or anything like that. It's just very by the book. It's very not regimented, but just moving the ball, meticulous, moving the ball forward, very intentional with everything he does. And that's why it's really tough to try and figure out where he's going to be because he's not really putting himself in an opportunity to shine and have these grand moments where it's, oh my God, that was a risky throw, but Brock made it. He's making the right play every single time. And that's not sexy. That's not a fun, conversation for us to go back and forth on, but it's what this team needs to continue to succeed. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I don't see Brock being like, I watch First Take. I see a lot of people having my back all of a sudden. Maybe I should start, showing, it's been cool. He's gotten me here, but let me take this a little bit further. I don't see that in Brock. I think he's very much okay with how he plays. And I think he understands that that's the best possible route to success.
See, because it's crazy when I watch Brock play, those back shoulder throws to Debo.
Yeah.
Then he did one to Ayuk, and then he had a really nice pass to Ronnie Bell. And I would say that the balls that he's throwing, I don't think that Brock is part of the boringness of the Niners. I think Brock, he shows emotion. I think Brock makes some real high-level throws. I do just think it's so opposite to the tap dancing Jimmy Garoppolo, okay, that he just looks so comfortable.
Yeah.
And he just makes things look easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
I think easy is a better word than what I say. Yeah, I think easy is the better word than boring.
And I'm not a tape guy. I'm not going to sit there and break down Brock's tape, but you know, when I'm watching the replays, and there is a ball that is just an inch higher than the DB.
That throw last week,
and I'm thinking luck, or is Brock actually
just touch?
But then he does it again and again. And again, and you're thinking, he's got that touch. He's got that it factor. So I think it might feel boring because they're just rolling. But if you look at these throws, they really are high-level throws. All right, got to get to a break. We got Caesar 916 on the nickname train. Big Birdie Purdy. Yeah, I like that. It's Friday. It's a fun Friday. Keep the names coming, and we'll shout them out if they're good. We're going to take a break from the NFL and switch over. It's Beam time. We're talking Kings. We're talking their fake game this weekend, their preseason game. I know Chris is excited for it. He's got it locked and loaded against the Dubs. All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast will include a mix of sun and clouds, light southwesterly winds, temperatures this afternoon falling shy of average, topping out in the upper 70s. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. on this Friday. Maybe it's a payday Friday for you. Some people, if it is, enjoy. If not, you got next week. Enjoy it. And make sure, treat yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Parks and Rec, little reference for you as well. So enjoy the weekend, and hopefully you're enjoying some good football with the Niners. But we're going to switch over to the Beam team.
Please.
And, I'm really struggling here. Okay. I got to be honest.
Okay.
Because I got a name.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to – this is an ultimate tease. I mean, this isn't a segment tease. This is a season tease. So I haven't even told Chris this off air. I heard you and Zachariah a couple days ago.
Okay.
And I was watching on YouTube, and you guys were struggling a little bit for the name for Kings fans, right?
Yeah, right.
The purple people, or you got it was rough.
It was rough.
I have a name.
Okay.
I have a term.
Okay.
But we are going to hold on to this.
Oh.
We are going to hold on to it for when the season starts.
That's a tease.
That is the ultimate tease.
That's like a 3 week.
Hold on. Just hold on. We're coming home. and we're coming home to and you know what? We're gonna continue to talk, and I promise myself, because I think I could keep a secret. I'm pretty good at it. This one's a tough one because also I don't want to build this up and then you have to fake it. And in reality, Alan, this is kind of trash. Yeah. But I tried it out when I was at Fleet Week last weekend. Me and the wife got a break from the baby. Thank you to my mom for watching her. Got out to Fleet Week, enjoyed ourselves, and I said, "Hey, I got a name. What do you think?" And everybody was feeling it, but I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on. All right. Okay. So let's get to the Beam team. And what they got going on. We talked a lot about just the nooks and crannies yesterday of that preseason loss to the Lakers. And, you know, what I was thinking as far as the Kings and looking at this star-studded Western Conference, are they the most, if this is the best term, who knows, are they the most blue-collar championship contender? Originally I was going to say in the Western Conference, but in the league?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know what you're trying to say, and I've used the term like a basketball team. Like they actually, like they're a bunch of guys, like there's no stars on this team. There's no LeBrons, there's no Kawhis, there's no Stephs. Like there's nobody who feels like they're above everyone else, because I do think that's a very real thing, especially in basketball. Like there's only 5 guys on the floor, and, you know, guys get treated differently on the floor, and then, you know, with star power and how, you know, how much people love NBA players, those guys rise to a different level and they're talked about differently and all that stuff. The Kings just feel like a good old traditional, I mean, yeah, blue collar is just work. They just work. They're literally just there to play basketball. They don't care about shine. They don't care. It's just such a low ego environment and a low ego team. It doesn't exist. It just really doesn't exist for the top tier teams. And I definitely think blue collar is a good word for it. I think, you know, yeah, I mean, they're just there to play basketball. I say that they're a basketball team, and I think it's a really, really rare thing to have with a contender. Like I think it's common for teams like, you know, OKC, I would say is in a similar boat, but they're not really up to the level that I think we think the Kings are at. So yeah, I would say blue collar, workhorse, just dudes who care about basketball, and that's their only focus is to play as a basketball team.
Yeah, and it's a pretty broad term because you could talk about rosters versus gameplay.
Yeah.
Because the Denver Nuggets, I kind of would consider blue collar, but they have a star.
Yes.
They have a legit
massive
superstar.
All-timer.
So you could play blue collar, but have a superstar that would take you out of the blue collar category. And I think that's what we're witnessing with the Nuggets. And on top of that,
well, he plays like a superstar too.
Exactly.
Like
I was going to say the no-look passes.
Touches too. Also, just the amount of time he has the ball.
Right.
It's not really a democracy there.
Right. So I'm looking around the league, and you know, okay, well the Bucks definitely not anymore. I didn't even think they were with just Giannis, and now you got Dame. All of these teams have these superstars. So now the question becomes, can a blue collar team or a blue collar roster win? And I don't want to bring them up because this is the only go-to here is, well, the Pistons did it. That is the only example.
2003 Detroit Pistons.
All they had was Tayshaun and Big Shot Billups and you know, and Ben Wallace. That's the only example that we use in terms of no superstar.
Right.
And we've talked about maybe De'Aaron Fox can ascend throughout this season. But besides that, Warriors, not blue collar.
No, sir.
Lakers, not blue collar.
That's funny. Warriors, blue collars.
Okay.
That's just hilarious.
All right.
Come on. You Bay people.
Bucks.
You Bay folk.
Bucks, not blue collar.
No.
Okay.
Obviously the market is, but the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around at the last couple champions thinking that De'Aaron Fox thing is going to have to be real because you're not going to be able to get it done without
a star,
without a star,
or it's going to be near impossible. That's I mean, or you're going to, or De'Aaron's going to have to do his best Jimmy Butler, where you know,
that's a good call.
I would say Jimmy Butler is
I go blue collar
as close as it gets to a star without being a star,
right?
But if De'Aaron could be that version, like, Jimmy's getting up there. If De'Aaron can kind of be that new Jimmy Butler, like, which I think he seems, from what I've been following De'Aaron for 6 or 7 years now. He does seem to kind of have that attitude of, again, like, just low ego. He always says the right thing, always is very team focused, team oriented, is never, what I specifically am bringing. It's always about the team. And I think that's kind of the blueprint, the model that the Kings can hopefully follow is just putting your nose down and working. And even if you're a 6 seed and you're playing a 3 seed, and even if it's the Warriors or the Lakers or some big name, just believing that you as a basketball unit, again, like the entire roster it applies to, I think that's how the Kings can really get over the hump this year, is just by their depth. Like, they have legitimate depth, and if they can truly have or be okay with, hey, tonight's a Sasha night, we're gonna let Sasha lead us with 25 points. Oh, it's a Malik night tonight. Right. Okay, like, and that's how it was last year. And I think if they can just build upon that and add to the amount of people who are contributing to that it's your night pot, that's really how they can break into championship contention and be, like we're saying, a blue collar team that ends up reaching the ultimate height.
Right. And, we're going to learn here pretty soon when the regular season starts. I have a question, and it might be ridiculous, but I'm going to ask.
There's
anyway.
no ridiculous questions.
Is it possible that there are some Kings Niner fans that, even though it's preseason, it is the Warriors at home and it is preseason. Is it possible there are some Kings/Niner fans that might be slightly more excited to watch that preseason game than the Niners Browns?
We did a poll last Friday on this show. Are you more excited to see Sunday Night Football, Cowboys versus Niners, or Kings versus, what was it last Sunday? Was it Raptors? Was it the opening? Yeah, I think it might have been the Raptors.
Yeah.
And it was 54-46 for the Niners. Wow. And that's against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
It's different here. Like, it is really, really different. And that could have just been maybe people excited for the season and whatever, who knows if they actually followed through on that. But I think that speaks to just, the amount of care, the fact that it's even a conversation. Again, that's Niners Cowboys. Yeah. It does not it's NFL. It's once a week. You'll get 3 more Kings games before you get another Niners game. And that's what makes Sacramento so crazy. And man, you throw in a Warriors, this is the first home game of the season. Obviously, it's still preseason, but these first 2 preseason games have been on the road. Kings fans are, I don't want to say it's going to be a sellout during preseason, but there's going to be a good helping of fans there on Sunday, and there's going to be tons of people watching at home. I would almost guarantee that a good majority of people are going to have the Kings on their main TV.
Hey, man.
It's real.
Right.
Here.
You got the 2 going. Maybe you got the Niners on your laptop.
Yeah, totally. Especially against the Browns,
Yeah.
With PJ Walker in
it's
there.
It's going to be a gross game. It's going to be a gross game. It's not going to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I'm saying 19-3 for that. I know we're going to talk more about it, and we'll probably give our predictions later, but I'm feeling like a really just a slugfest, really ugly game. It might give some PTSDs to some Niner fans of that monsoon game in Chicago last year. I think it's going to – I don't know if the field's going to be that bad, torn up, but I think it's going to be an ugly, as you mentioned, a run-heavy game for the Niners.
Well, this would be another checklist for Brock to check off. I don't hope the weather's really bad, but it'll be interesting to see just in terms of, hey, down the road in the playoffs, the weather's not going to be great. We don't know if you're going to have home field advantage or not. And as we talked about early in the show, that matters. All right, got to get to a break. When we come back, we talked about it a little bit. Chris brought up a great point with Harrison Barnes and about at what point you plateau and at what point you can say that you are done growing as a player. Is Harrison done? Are other players on the Kings done? All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. Now at its lowest price ever, the all-new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $880, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
One of the reasons people buy new cars is because of the warranty. They don't want to have to worry about things breaking and the fear of unexpected repair costs. But did you know Elk Grove Kia has one of the longest warranties around at 20 years or 200,000 miles? No other Kia dealer offers that. You would have to be a real to buy from anyone other than Elk Grove Kia. And if you're worried about financing, don't. Elk Grove Kia believes in second, third, and sometimes fourth chances because Elk Grove Kia's management team has over 100 years of combined automotive experience. We know how to say yes, a lot more than the others do. Collections, past due bills, repos, bankruptcies. Your job is your credit. So where others fail to get you into your new ride, we can get you qualified. Let Elk Grove Kia show you why we're out to be the #1 Kia dealer in California. So when you're ready for some peace of mind and a friendly face, come visit us. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We've got big-time sports going on in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers will play in Cleveland. Coverage on Sactown Sports begins at 9 a.m. sharp Sunday morning. Then on Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage of that game begins at 5 o'clock p.m. here on Sactown Sports. The game will also be broadcast on ESPN at 6:30. In baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies eliminated the Atlanta Braves last night. This is the second year in a row that the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won at least 100 games. Those are your headlines. Let's return for more of Stiles and Watkins here on Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Watkins and Stiles taking you up to 2 p.m. And yesterday, Chris, you made a really good point because Harrison Barnes looked good.
Mm-hmm.
He looked good against the Lakers, and we compared him to Andrew Wiggins a little bit and guys that I don't think Harrison Barnes was ever supposed to be a dude like Andrew Wiggins, but hey, can you be a second option?
I like to say Harrison Barnes is very Kirk Cousins-esque.
Okay.
You know how they always say, like, there's a meme of, like, oh, there's, like, 5 different Kirk Cousins around the league. There's, like, Daniel Jones is, like, running Kirk Cousins.
Right.
XYZ. And I like to say Harrison Barnes is, like...
basketball Kirk Cousins.
Exactly. There's, like, Andrew Wiggins, who's, whatever, a younger Harrison Barnes. Tobias Harris, who's, like, tall Harrison Barnes.
Right.
There's, like, a couple different people who fit in that
that's
category.
funny. So, yeah. Athletic Harrison Barnes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So Harrison Barnes, 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we think of that as not old, but it really should be your prime.
Yes.
Right?
Middle of it. Yeah.
Yes. But when we talk about improving and when we talk about growing as a player, I don't think a lot of us think a 30-year-old player.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you are who you are.
Right.
And we know kids, and people, what are they, guys don't stop growing till like technically 22 or whatever it is. When do you stop growing as a player?
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that Harrison Barnes could still improve? Now, this is different to Vince Carter losing his jumping ability.
Right.
He still, actually, I saw him dunk last year, and I believe he's
ridiculous.
50, right? That whenever his birthday comes up, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that on the morning show. But not learning how to, this isn't learning how to shoot because you can't jump as high.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I'm still improving as a player and growing as a player. I would say that your favorite player, Steph Curry, did that on the defensive end because he got stronger. Now, he is not Kawhi Leonard, but he can hold his own a little bit better than he could when he was a younger kid, and people are hoping that Jordan Poole can do the same. Younger players in general, De'Aaron Fox. Some people just never do it, like James Harden. Luka is another guy. Got to get better defense. Probably not. He doesn't have to because he's coddled, but that's a different conversation. So Harrison Barnes and just guys in general, at what point should we think, okay, he is who he is?
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like 30s, like this early 30s range is about where it is. Like it's 30 to about 32 is around the age. Like once you're 32, it feels like you're well established in the league. You kind of are who you are. And then that's kind of on the back end of that. That's where the Vince Carter thing kind of starts to happen. Your body changes. You're not as quick. You're not as explosive as you used to be. So it's not necessarily that you're developing. You're just kind of evolving, if you will. It's a different version of what you are. It feels like Harrison is tiptoeing on that line just because you really haven't seen him add layers to his game in a while. Like I think the most recent development that I've seen from him is he's really gotten down this really slow Euro step to where he's pretty much just leaping from foot to foot. And that's been a really big thing just in terms of throwing guys off. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't see Harrison Barnes all of a sudden adding a handle to his game or, all of a sudden now he's taking a lot of shots off the dribble, creating his own shot. It feels like Harrison, it just feels like he's kind of maxed out and not necessarily in a bad way, but just I think he's going to end up being this jack of all trades, master of none, which I think a lot of teams could use, but it becomes a conversation of, I mean, and it's good Harrison's on a new deal now, but how much do you value that? How many minutes and can you give that guy a permanent starting spot if he's not really continuing to develop and you have other people under him that might still have some potential to grow? So I feel like Harrison might be done, but I'm not saying he's done as a player. I think he just kind of is who he is at this point.
No, I think it is very similar to literal growth that we were talking about. Yeah, there was a kid that I knew that he was about my height all throughout high school and then got a super late growth spurt senior year.
Wow.
Next thing you know, he was 6'3", 6'4".
Crazy.
So just random.
Yeah.
So it could happen, but it doesn't typically happen.
Right.
And I would also compare it to running. right? Or throwing a baseball, any of these things where I would stick to running because you can put the parachute on your back. You can get a weighted vest.
Yeah.
If you are born, let's say you were born a 5 flat guy, right? I don't know, man. I think the best, if you work your tail off, I think the best you're going to get to is 4.7.
Yeah, right. You can cut a couple seconds off there just by work.
Just by working your tail off.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not going to, if you were born a 5, if your freshman year you're running a 5 flat.
Right.
Chances
you're not
are
going to get to a 4.4,
no,
4.3.
probably
Yeah, you're not
not
going to become a speedster.
Right. So I think that's where Harrison Barnes is, whereas he can improve a little bit, and maybe it's just his aggressiveness.
Maybe it's his
just
efficiency or something. He's taking better shots or whatever.
Right. And maybe the version of it for Harrison is those days that you've talked about where the one-off where Keegan's off and De'Aaron's off.
Yep.
So it's just Sabonis trying to cook, and we need that second dude because these guys just not working for him. Harrison, at this point in his career as a 30-year-old man, is saying, I can get us one.
I would hope.
I can get us one. And I think that is a fair hope from Harrison because as a vet and as a starter, we need you.
Yeah.
We need you. Those are the numbers that we talk about and the quote-unquote depth. Well, this depth has to matter, so whether it's Harrison, I know he's a little bit younger, or Herter, somebody's going to have to be that guy. And I would say that Harrison kind of fits the bill because he's won a championship. Yeah. He's been around the block. There should be nobody that Harrison Barnes is scared of. There's nobody that he hasn't seen. And he should take that with pride and say, hey, I'm the guy who I'm not the first option. I'm not the second option. I'm not the third option.
Yeah.
But when we have those nights where we need somebody to just power that through, I can do that for you, coach.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I hope for him. Like that's been my biggest quarrel with him so far. Has just been more times than not he doesn't step up. But I would like to see him in this reduced importance of a role. Now he's not expected to be the third starter. I want to see him be a steadying presence. Like I just want him to consistently give me, it doesn't have to be the 15, 16 points that it's been in the past, but can you give me 12 every single night? Can I rely on you to hit 2 threes every single night? Can I rely on you every night to put up a good fight against other teams' good forwards? Can you guard Paul George? Can you step up maybe and guard, LeBron is a little bit more physical these days as opposed to athletic. I mean, or, speed wise, like, can you match up with those kind of guys? That's what I want to see out of Harrison is him looking like the oldest guy in the room. Him, like you're saying, embracing the fact that he's been through it all, seen it all, played against the best and been on the other side. Like, I want to see him take ownership of just knowing what it is that he is and knowing what it takes to win. And I think that's a really big thing that I'm looking for during the playoffs too. The Kings are going to be in some uncharted territory, hopefully at some point soon here. I want to see Harrison, a guy who's been in the NBA finals, though he struggled in that finals. I want to see him say, guys, I've been here before. We're down 0-1. We're down 0-2. Now is not the time. Like, that's where I think Harrison's really going to prove his value, is just being a veteran and understanding and knowing what this team needs at any given point in the season.
Yeah, I think he will be up to the task. It's hard to be that veteran presence because you got to be a baller. Yep. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
So
you got to play.
You got to
put
play
up numbers. Yeah.
Exactly. And hey, all right, Harrison, he's elevating his game. I'm going to elevate my game as well. So we'll see what happens. We're going to talk more about the Kings and the Warriors, how much it matters being the preseason. We're going to take a little break on this fun Friday, and we are going to talk Olympics in Paris in 2024, some of the new sports or events that have been added, and also what is being added in 2028. You're not going to want to miss this fun one and be a part of the action as well at 916-339-1140. When we get back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell, the Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. It's Friday the 13th. Should investors watch out for black cats, avoid walking under ladders, and throw salt over their left shoulder today? How do stock market investors fare on Friday the 13th? Fridays are typically a lucky day for investors, coming in at the best performing day of the week, positive 54.6% of the time. This wasn't the case on Friday, October 13th, 1989, deemed Black Friday, where the S&P 500 fell 6.12%. October is typically a winning month for stocks, up 0.9% higher on average. What a difference a year makes. 30-year mortgage rates started 2022 at 3.22% and have climbed to as much as 8.5% 4.4% currently, with the average monthly payment growing from $1,400 in January 2022 to $2,317 currently. With 2023 quickly coming to a close, will potential home buyers find better luck soon? How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisor.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Picture a swimmer backstroking through a pool of lime jelly. Now picture yourself getting the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro. Now picture a lion and antelope hugging. Now picture yourself switching to Boost Infinite and getting the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Now picture that swimmer again, but this time it's you, and the pool is full of iPhones and baby ducks. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Switch today. Just dial #250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from the station's network.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's going to be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
I love being a bartender. I love waiting tables. But at the end of my shift, my feet were killing me. And so I had to pretend like I was having a good time. And really, I couldn't wait to sit down. But it wasn't just my feet. It was also my knees were achy. A lot of neck pain, too. I was in so much pain. I kind of lost hope, really. And then I saw the Good Feet store, and that's when everything changed.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Kristen enjoy their work again without their feet getting in the way.
It was pretty shocking to realize that I'd been in so much pain, and suddenly I'm completely pain-free. Now that I have the Good Feet arch supports, I don't have to pretend to be happy. I'm genuinely happy. So, cheers. My name is Kristen, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Watkins and Stiles taking you up to 2 p.m. with the Drive Guys, taking you into the weekend as we take a little break from our normal sports to talk Olympics. And Olympics is one of the most confusing things to me because of endorsement money, right? Like, what is Simone Biles and Michael Phelps, them specifically, we should just, Usain Bolt, put them in a different category.
Yeah.
But what is like the average How much money are you making as an Olympian?
Well, I don't think you don't get paid for being an Olympian, right? It's only
all
for endorsements. Yeah.
It depends. Some sports have specific like funding as part of their like
Federation or whatever.
but like not every sport has that.
Interesting. Well, they pay for everything, so
right?
You don't
they pay for travel.
So basically, you're a college athlete before the NIL.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Unless it's a big time sport where they have like someone just donated $500 million,
Right.
and now as I'm saying it, it's literally college athletics.
Yeah, it is college athletics with the NIL.
Right. So the new events. I don't know if the whole sports thing. We could do another segment on whether they're sports or not. We'll save that for the summer.
Yeah, we'll save that
on the
for summer
streets right now. We'll save that for the summer. There'll be plenty of time. So they are adding 5 sports to the Olympics for 2024 in Paris. Cricket.
That feels like it should have already been.
Yeah, that's weird to
isn't
me.
that like
That's my
world,
thinking.
like the world's most played sport besides soccer?
Well, I was gonna say, would the U.S. even have a cricket team?
No, I mean, I'm sure they would have a team, but
They'd
it would
just get
be a
smacked.
very rare instance where, we might be at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody. I've never in my life met anybody who has said like, yeah, like I've played it before. Not even like I played
pickup
in a league.
cricket.
I mean, like, where I play softball, there's some people playing cricket out there. I've at least seen like the poles and the big old stick. I don't know what they would call the
Wait, you've seen people playing pickup cricket?
Yes, in a park. Yeah, I have.
That's crazy.
It blew my mind. It definitely blew my mind. I was like,
I kind of want in on it.
According to the ICC, which is International Cricket something, America is ranked 17th in the world in cricket right now.
Wow. Out of, are there 20 teams?
I see 19. They are just
Who's worse then?
They are just below Namibia.
Okay.
And just above Oman and the United Arab Emirates.
Wow.
You're not last.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so also Zimbabwe is ahead of the United States.
Shout out.
Do you think like India's going to have conversations like we do about our basketball team where it's like, oh, like should we be sending our best, our best cricketers, our cricketers?
Yeah.
No. Should we just send the college guys?
Yeah, we don't really need to bring our A team.
Yeah,
but it's the Olympics, so just in case, I don't think that
need to assert the dominance.
I think U.S. is gonna sneak up on them. All right, so cricket, skateboarding, surfing, and get this one. They call it breaking, my friend. Breakdancing.
Oh my gosh! Wasn't there like a thing called breaking, or where like people would like dislocate their?
Oh, I don't know about
like
that.
Their arms and stuff. Like, you ever seen the people who like go behind their back and
like on America's
pull their
Got
hands
Talent,
up? Isn't that called breaking?
They do that on BART, okay, in the Bay Area. And I'm just trying to get home,
those are some Olympians, man. Those are some
they
future
come up,
Olympians.
and I try so hard not to make eye contact because I don't have $1 for you.
Exactly.
I don't typically have cash on me. And they're coming around, and I'll try to maybe sneak my phone to record if it's a cool one, but I'm just not making eye contact because I'm like, man, I'm not trying to. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm not trying to have it happen. But yeah, okay. So
breakdancing,
cricket, skateboarding, surfing, and breaking.
What? Like what?
Mm-hmm. It's like a subset of.
But they don't even have like. Is there any form of dancing in the Olympics right now? Like, is there?
I'm sure. There's.
See, and I'm glad that we didn't say sport because that's
you're not with it.
That's where we have that conversation. I just don't know if breakdancing is.
It takes athleticism.
It does. It definitely. I mean, maybe I'll have to see. Like, I wouldn't say that tag is a sport either. But then you see those professional tag games, and I'm like, it's
on the ticker.
That's
ACL.
not easy.
Someone lost an ACL.
Traditional dance is still not an Olympic sport, apparently.
Huh.
So breakdancing got in 2024. And breakdancing is one of those things where, so hobbies are interesting. And I would put skateboarding in this conversation as well.
Yeah.
Because hobbies are interesting because I would never age shame someone or say something is age appropriate or not. I think your body will tell you.
Right.
But, at what point, if you're a hardcore breakdancer, do you sustain an injury? And you just say, oh, man, that's the last head spin.
Yeah.
I've spun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, gymnasts, like a lot of gymnasts are whatever, they're about as young as they can get. And then once you turn 25, it's like bye, grandma. Like,
Right.
get out of here.
Right.
And so
right.
I want, like a skateboard going to be one of those sports, or are we going to send Tony Hawk out there?
No, we can't do that. Can't be Tony.
Would be funny if we did.
Does this do you think that this does anything for the popularity of these sports? Like, is there any way that we are really gonna become hip to
they're gonna be on
greatest
terrible
skateboarder
times.
in the world?
They're going to be on a terrible times on
That's
purpose.
a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, the breakdancing
USA
thing,
Network.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The breakdancing thing is interesting because it reminds me a bit of parkour, right?
Yeah.
But parkour is even harder because how do you practice parkour?
By risking your life every single day.
Yeah, you just do it on a smaller, more safe space. Like you've seen those videos of people who try and climb a wall without
they try and
they scale a wall with no help
shimmy
or
up.
anything. Like, that's good practice, right?
Sure.
But what prepares you for leaping across a building besides leaping across a building?
Nothing. So cricket I'm good with. Skateboarding, fine.
It's on the border. It's fine. It's essentially, I would imagine they're just going to do a lot of the same events that they do for skiing.
Mhm.
And, you can have the half pipe on the snowboards and stuff.
Right.
So I could imagine how it's just a different version of the X Games, essentially.
Okay. Surfing, I guess I'm good with.
Borderline, but
borderline.
Yeah. I don't know how you would judge it, but sure. I mean, I can imagine. I could see how enough people also do it. It's enough of a worldly activity.
Right. And then breakdancing, as we talked about. Okay. All right. I don't know. But
I think I saw, didn't Tyreek Hill say that they're doing flag football too?
So that's what I was getting to. In the organizers of the LA 2028 games said this week, this was October 13th, that they wanted cricket again, flag football, lacrosse, squash, and baseball and softball added to the event.
Interesting. The Olympic baseball would probably be really, really
Oh,
fun.
I'm into that.
I don't know, what would you probably send college kids
I think
for that
that's what
as well?
No, so in 2021, the Tokyo one, they had baseball and they sent minor leaguers or players who were out of baseball. I think Todd Frazier was on the U.S. team.
So
but he was
over the
retired.
hill or not at the hill yet.
And that's not just U.S. That's every Dominican Republic is doing the same thing.
I don't know what other
know.
countries did, but I think U.S. won the gold.
There you go.
Okay, gotcha. So they're probably doing the same, or at least sending younger
I,
guys.
I would imagine Japan probably doing the same thing. You know, not sending their besties. But flag football to me is interesting because
How could you do that?
Are there NFL players? No.
That's a great question as well.
They're all punters in Australia.
Yeah?
That's the only other really one I can think of.
My problem with flag football being an Olympic sport is it's not a worldly sport. Football is something that's only really played in America. I mean, I know they have an English football league and obviously the Canadian league, but I don't think that game is worldly enough for other nations to realistically have any sort of a chance to compete. And that's kind of obviously a big part of the
that's a
Olympics
good
is
point.
everybody's got to be an active participant in the sport.
There was a time before the Achilles because I told you I'm a Turkey Bowl
Yes, sir.
MVP.
Yeah.
And I did look up some flag football stuff, and those boys are about that life. And the women. And the women. And the women, they're actually starting to make flag football a credited
They play it in
sport
high school.
In
here.
high school.
This is the first year that they've built out the women's flag football league in Sacramento. I've been keeping up with it. There's some really, really talented teams out there.
I got to
It's
get
crazy.
to. I will get to a couple games. I mean, ultimately, people have joked about NFL eventually being flag football. I don't think that will ever happen, but I do think if it makes sense and looks good, people will watch.
People will. Yeah,
Football
absolutely.
is football, and yes, you love the hits, but you also just love the athleticism in general. All right, get into a break. When we get back, a little bit more baseball talk. It's the battle of the ex-Giants managers. Who would you rather see win, Dusty or Bochy? And then we'll get into Kings a little bit later and a little bit more Niners before Crosstalk. All that and more, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey guys, do you know what makes Revive Men's Health Sacramento different? You. Every Revive treatment and medication is personalized just for you. Revive has the experts that guys go to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their daily performance. Since 2011, they've helped thousands of local men suffering with the symptoms of low T and ED. Their goal is simple, to get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. Your best performance requires more than generic ED medications or a low-dose testosterone booster at a low-ball price like you find online. Revive medications are custom compounded, affordable, and guaranteed to resolve your issues. Stop dealing with the symptoms of low T or ED. Book your free T-check and exam and save $199 today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit us at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Picture a swimmer backstroking through a pool of lime jelly. Now picture yourself getting the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro. Now picture a lion and antelope hugging. Now picture yourself switching to Boost Infinite and getting the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Now picture that swimmer again, but this time it's you. And the pool is full of iPhones and baby ducks. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from the station's network.
Yep, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's going to be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What's happening for Ram Power Days?
The biggest sell of the year with up to $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn and Laramie Crew cabs. Or save up to $6,000 off MSRP and get thousands more with 0% financing for 72 months.
Pretty much all your Rams are on sale and 0% financing?
Hoblet is always looking out for you, which is why we have up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 Crew cabs too. And with over 500 Rams available, we're sure to have your perfect truck at California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
These deals can't last long. See our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. 12,000 total net savings after 6,000 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 loyalty bonus cash for current owners of Stellantis brand vehicle and $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. Or take 0% financing for 72 months plus 6,000 dealer discounts. Offer on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Plus 700 plus FICO score to qualify. 0% for 72 months equals $1,389 per $1,000 borrowed. 8,000 total net savings after 3,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $1,000 case construction and 500 first responder bonus cash for current members of eligible first responder association. 10 of each offer. See dealer for details.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got big-time sports in Sacramento this weekend. The San Francisco 49ers play in Cleveland with coverage on Sactown Sports beginning at 9 a.m. sharp on Sunday morning. Then Sunday night, the Sacramento Kings will be dueling with the Golden State Warriors in their first home preseason game. Coverage begins there at 5 o'clock p.m. right here on Sactown Sports, and the game will be broadcast on ESPN at 6:30. In baseball, the Phillies eliminated the Braves last night. This is the second year in a row the Phillies have eliminated a Braves team that won 100 games or more. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. It's Friday, and it's time for the final hour here of Chris & Co. with Stiles and Watkins.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We're back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins. One more hour. Thank you very kindly, Kyle. And the question is, look, Dodgers are out. We've made fun of them enough. Throwing stones from a glass house. But you got the battle of the ex-Giants managers.
Yep.
Bruce Bochy, Dusty Baker. Dusty finally got his ring.
Yeah.
And I was torn because it's the Astros,
Yep.
but it's Dusty.
It's Dusty.
And ultimately, I did want Dusty to get it, but now he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, who would you rather see go to the World Series out of these two guys? I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask the audience as well, 916-339-1140 on the YouTube chat, and also on the text line, who would you rather see go to the World Series between the ex-Giants managers, Bruce Bochy, Dusty Baker? I'll start with you, Chris.
I would just like to say up top that Dusty Baker is a Sacramento legend. He's somebody who is from the area. I don't know if he's directly from Sacramento.
I
but
think so. I saw his little star thing in downtown Sacramento that he has.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, he's got a star downtown and everything. He was at like 5 to 10 different Kings games last year.
Right.
He's a legitimate Sacramento legend for sure. So first things first, shout out Dusty. But this is where I'm going to come with a but. But it would be really awesome to see Bruce Bochy really. I mean, you know that it wasn't. Bruce Bochy wasn't going to come back just for any old situation. That dude had been there, done that. He had his rings. You know, he proven himself as one of the best managers of all time. He didn't need to come back, and I think it would be really cool just to see him get back to the top and really just plant his flag again as one of the best managers to ever manage in this game. And I just think that would be a really cool story. And also, I mean, I have so many A's fans in my life that I can't help but root for Marcus Semien as well. And that's kind of an extension of that. So I got to go with Dust. I'm sorry. I got to go with Bochy.
Yeah, that's
as
a
much
good
as
call.
I want to say Dusty.
Right. And I guess, we can take it to teams as well, because we got the Bay Boy and Marcus Semien. And it's a tough one for me because I do like Dusty, but he does have his ring now, and it is the Astros. Right. And honestly, I don't really know how many people at this point still hate the Astros. Like we said, Correa is gone. Right. A couple guys are gone now. They still got Altuve.
Right.
And those guys. But, it's good. I'm struggling because if it's Bochy, now I got to hear Giants fans continue to complain about, well, you forced out Bochy. Well, they were terrible. They were terrible in 2017, 2019. Yeah, if the Giants had the 4th highest payroll and Corey Seager and Marcus Semien and the stars that the Rangers have, sure, I'd love to keep Bochy, and they probably wouldn't have stunk, but they didn't, so they did. So it's hard for me to compare it, and Scherzer on the mound, so it's hard for me to compare it, but I know people are going to do that, right? So that's a tough one for me, but ultimately, I'm a guy who I love a good storyline, and it would be really a crazy circle of completion because who did the Giants beat in 2010 to win their first one of the 3?
That's so true.
The Texas Rangers and Nelson Cruz not being able to field the fly ball and that whole situation. So for Bochy all these years later to come back and say, don't worry, guys, I'll help you get your own ring. I know we beat you back in 2010. So that would be crazy.
Yeah. That makes me think too.
Yeah.
It's really sad that Ron Washington never got one with those Rangers teams. Like, I mean, because Ron is another one of those dudes who, I mean, he kind of fits in that Bochy.
He got one as an assistant with the Braves.
Sure. Not the same. Because, I mean, especially, again, you got those Oakland connections, you got those Bay connections, and like, it would have been really cool to see, because those Texas teams were legit.
They were.
They really, I mean, you could argue that they probably should have beaten the Giants from just a which team is better perspective. And yeah, I mean, that's something I think about all the time. Is just, man, it really sucks that, I'm glad that Dusty was able to get his ring last year, but it is kind of funny that I feel now it's like you got yours, Dusty, and you're still tied with these bad guys. So I just can't give him the nod. I can't give him the nod.
No,
I'm not going to be rooting for you. I'm sorry,
and
Dusty.
Baseball wise, I do think the better storyline. Honestly, I don't even, like I said, I don't know how many people still care. So I don't know if there are there more viewers if it's Astro? It has to be Phillies, as we talked about at the top of the show.
Literally
has to. And
or else none of it mattered. Nobody's going to watch if the Diamondbacks. Sorry, Arizona. They're just not. Nobody's going to care.
Sorry to this team. Sorry, Arizona. For baseball, it's got to be, and Kyle as he puts on the Diamondbacks hat, it's got to be Phillies just for baseball in general.
Yep. And you get the Bryce Harper of it too. You get that big name that everybody can connect
You need
to.
it.
Yeah.
You need it. And they can get their revenge on the Astros. So
well.
I think that is probably the better matchup. But the Rangers, as far as star power, I mean, Corey Seager, I think he's a guy who isn't a household name, probably just because, you don't see him on a lot of endorsements or anything, commercials, things like that. He probably they make so much money in baseball. They don't need to do anything. No. I think that's probably part of the problem.
That's exactly
right. So
they don't feel the need to go endorse themselves.
They don't
market themselves.
They don't.
Like, I'm chilling.
Exactly.
And baseball guys usually don't have big personalities or big egos anyway, so they're not really seeking that attention either.
It's taken them so long to get to the big leagues. They're tired.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been grinding for a long time, man. You got me in the middle of nowhere, going from, and all the minor league stuff that they're trying to fix. I'm sleeping on air mattresses.
Right.
I just give me my money and I just want to go home.
I have a quick question for you too, because something I've always wondered about baseball that's just way different than any other sport is it feels like the year-to-year consistency is a lot harder to find in baseball, where like guys will just randomly fall off, or guys will be trending in one direction and then all of a sudden again, it feels like there's a fall off that happens with some of these. Not necessarily, but like Yasiel Puig, in basketball, if there's a guy that has the level of hype of Yasiel, like it feels like that guy's going to be in the NBA for 10 to 15 years, and he's just going to be a part of the story and a part of the equation. How much of the I don't want to say inconsistency, but just how sometimes it falls off a lot faster than what people think. How much do you think that plays into marketability?
Yeah, it's a good point. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if it's PEDs or what it is, but some of these guys fall off quickly. Yeah. So Yasiel was
Pitchers
one, and I was thinking another name, Yoenis Cespedes.
Cespedes as well, right?
We thought, this guy is not going. I don't know if it's they forget how to hit or what it is, but you're right.
Or even like a guy like Barry Zito.
Cespedes might have been fighting boars on his farm and tearing into Phillies.
Right, exactly. So there are a lot of situations like that. I think baseball's just tough.
Yeah,
I think it's just a hard.
Exactly.
I mean, Dion primetime when College game day
I
came
saw
to
that.
him,
I heard that.
I think it was First Take. They said, Dion, you did both. What's the tough thing? He's like, hitting that baseball.
Not even close. And with no question, no hesitation.
Yeah,
nothing.
Hitting that baseball. And this is before, the new rules and things like that. So I think that is, but to answer your question, it's probably part of it as well. But at the same time, you have Mike Trout, who's been good. I mean, he's actually on the back end of his career, and he's a guy who the Angels might be looking to move. And, his value is still, I would still take him on the Giants any day of the week, but he's a guy who never was able to click marketing-wise, where it's interesting
he even got the
because
Subway commercials.
Right,
It didn't click.
Right, and in this age of social media, baseball hasn't been able to do it. Why was Ken Griffey Jr. able to be as big as he was? I don't know. Maybe it was the backwards hat.
Yeah.
It was just
cool.
a different swag.
Whatever.
Right? And I think there's so many guys now that are either trying to be cool or just aren't cool that you can't find that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring up his name again. Tatis, you kind of had it because it was original.
For sure.
Nobody has those blonde dreads. Like, nobody looks like him. He had a different swag. So you just have to be different, but also not too different.
Right.
You know, it's a very fine line. But
when then also comes the the language barrier, and does it need to be a U.S. born and bred star and that kind of stuff.
You had a guy who didn't, Miguel Cabrera. I know he won the Triple Crown one year. He might have won it twice in something crazy like that. I know he won it the one year, and Miguel Cabrera, that run when he was just doing whatever
Ridiculous,
he wanted, he was not a household name.
No.
And I do think part of that is the language thing. I think we would be crazy to say it has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
So I think it's productivity. I think it's just the ability to market, and it's the ability to want to be marketed. So all those things are very important. But I think we're all in agreement here. Bruce Bochy, and more specifically, the Rangers would be nice. Get the Bay Boy a ring, and Marcus Semien, maybe start something new. Astros, we've seen enough of you, 7 straight. So enough is enough. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going to take a look at this week's slate of NFL games, what intrigues us, and what is going to put us to sleep. All that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, and it is time to go around the world of the NFL and just see. We're not going to go through every slate. We're not going to go through every game. Just what is intriguing to you? And we do this, and then the games that we don't think are going to be very good end up being games that are pretty entertaining. Yep. Now, a close game, let's get this clear. A close game does not mean a good game.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes, that is so correct.
Because,
I'm on that because there's too many times where it'll be, 17-14, and it comes down to in the fourth quarter, like a very much a Russell Wilson Seahawks game where one big play, one big drive just makes the game. I can't have 3 bad quarters and then an exciting finish and have me say, "Oh yeah, that was worth my Sunday." No, I need good action. I'm not low scoring games can be good games too, but just more times than not, we're seeing there's a lot of really bad offenses out.
Well, let's take last night. Last night was a close game. Was it a good game?
No, it was not.
All right, so we're going to play the game in or out. And I'm going to say the games, and you tell me if you're in or out.
Just on the matchup.
Just on the matchup.
Okay.
Right? Ravens at Titans, in or out?
I'm out. Titans are boring as hell, man. Their offense is so bad, and the Ravens can't figure it out.
Ryan Tannehill, is no one going to check Ryan Tannehill? He's just going to get to be mediocre forever?
But he had that one Pro Bowl season in 2020.
Dude,
He's still coasting.
Kyle, you and these Pro Bowls. You and these with the Pro Bowls.
Bringing up Pro Bowls.
Tannehill was above average that year.
How bad is Malik Willis And let's not forget, they drafted Will Levis this year.
Mayo Man.
How bad
Man.
are those two that it's not even a conversation? I mean, I think he's had 2 games this year already, Ryan Tannehill, where he's thrown 3 interceptions in a game.
Yeah.
And there's not even a whisper of,
no.
Should we throw this guy on the bench?
I thought Malik Willis actually made some strides because
In the preseason, he looked
people didn't
decent.
like him last year.
Mhm.
That's why they drafted Levis, and they thought, okay, even though you put mayo in your coffee, we think
So
you can get
strange.
it. Yeah, and that,
No comment.
what are we doing here? I don't know if it's real or not. If it is, I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Whatever.
So
He got the Hellman's bag. That's all
exactly,
that
he got the
matters.
bag,
That's all that
right? He
matters.
probably doesn't want to go
No.
in. I'm actually set, so I can just kick it here, and everybody can think, wow, look at his
Exactly.
potential. So you have Will Levis, who, was supposed to come in, and then all of a sudden, Malik Willis got better. So Will Levis, I think, as far as the last time I checked, he was still number 2 on the depth chart. Malik Willis was. So Titans, that does not move
No
me.
thanks.
Derrick Henry, keep doing your thing,
That
bro.
game is also at 6:30 a.m. in London.
So that's a London one. They're really picking up. There's like a London game every week now.
Yeah, I think they're going to do
there's
a
5.
Germany game as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so mad
Frankfurt
about
game?
that. So mad because I don't know if you've seen the schedule, but it's Kansas City, Miami.
Oh,
the game they're sending.
Kyle, you could. Oh my
Wow,
God! Yeah,
that's
we
tough.
should all be furious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Oh my
out
gosh, that's
on that
terrible.
one. Panthers at Dolphins, in or out?
Out. I mean, the Dolphins are obviously exciting, but this is like another potential of like a 35-0 game. Like, and I
Yeah.
believe I think Bryce Young is supposed to be playing, but
So-
I don't think that helps.
Yes. So yesterday, we talked about Bryce Young. We're pretty hard on Bryce Young.
We were.
So I went home, and of course, the first thing I see on social media is it's crazy. People are saying Bryce is a bust after 4 games. I'm like, yeah, what idiots are doing that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that was me.
Yep.
I don't feel necessarily any differently,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, sure, let me back off a little bit. I still don't know what he does really well,
Yes.
but sure, it's only been a couple games.
Mhm.
We can see, but the reports and the weight, like that's real.
Yes.
So I'm willing.
The
sure.
subbing in Andy Dalton for 3rd and 1s.
Right.
Very real.
That's very real.
Very
and again,
real
we're not
concerns.
calling him a bust.
No.
We're just saying I don't
think he should have been
necessarily
number 1.
Right. I don't necessarily know what he's going to be. So, all right. So you're out on that one.
Yep.
Saints at Texans.
CCC, very intrigued.
I'm in.
I'm intrigued. I'm
I'm
definitely
in.
intrigued. Like, is this going to be a first 1 to 30 game? Absolutely not. But
Mhm.
but I really like CJ Stroud and what he's done, and I cannot believe that they managed to squander last week against the Falcons. The Saints are a team who's okay. It feels like they should be better than they are, but kind of feels like Derek Carr might be holding them back a little bit on
They
the
beat
offense.
the Patriots 34-0.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy,
They're spicy.
Playoff.
that definitely means
Playoff
something, doesn't it?
DC. All right.
I'm intrigued.
I think I'm in on that one
Yeah.
too. Okay. Commanders at
No,
Falcons.
no, don't even finish it. No,
Oh, he was going to finish it with Falcons, too. That's gross.
no,
All right.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Commanders is just stop. I feel like, what was it? Bird Box. Stop making us watch the Commanders. Can we just not have the command? I feel like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah,
making us-
quietly up there with the Broncos for worst positions to be in. as a
Yes,
team.
I would have. Well, do they have their picks?
They do have their picks, but the problem is those picks aren't any good. They're going to go like 6-11 and have the 9 pick.
Right, they're in
Yeah.
purgatory.
I also hate the Falcons. I cannot stand the Falcons
So
this year.
if-
This Desmond Ridder offense is
Yeah,
disgusting.
so both of these teams might be in the Kyler Murray conversation because
absolutely.
they're not going to be bad enough.
Yep.
Yeah, the Falcons used to be, we're going to score 35. They're going to score 35. It's going to be awesome. And now they're mediocre and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very boring.
All right, here's another one for you with no Anthony Richardson, unfortunately. Colts at Jags.
Gardner Minshew revenge game is what I'm hearing.
Mm.
No, not really. If Anthony Richardson's playing, I'm mildly intrigued.
Right.
He's borderline must watch television, but no, with Gardner Minshew running the show, this is just a boring AFC South.
One of these
matchup.
teams is going to win the division.
Probably.
They're both
Probably.
3-2.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's going to be
crazy,
the
yeah.
Jags.
It's going to be the Jags, right?
Right.
That's
But
why
if the Colts win this weekend, oh.
They won't.
They won't.
I
They
don't
better
think
not.
so. All right, Seahawks at Bengals.
Yeah, this is intriguing. I mean, it could be two really good offenses, two obviously really good receiving cores. It's going to come down to, and the thing that I think most people are going to be watching is Joe Burrow really is he back?
Right.
Last week was a really big performance, over 300 yards for the first time this year. Can he continue it? The Seahawks defense is not great. There's been a lot of back and forth this week, hasn't there, between Jamar Chase and Devon Witherspoon going back and forth.
Right. I saw some
that
of
should
it.
be intriguing.
DK Metcalf was jumping in the beef.
Of course he was. Of course he was with his pacifier.
Yeah.
He's always
Forgot
saying
about
something. I mean, come on, man.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm intrigued by that one.
Okay.
High scoring.
Vikings. Well, you're a Vikings guy.
No,
Vikings
not
at
intrigued.
Bears?
No, absolutely
Doesn't-
not. No Kirk Cousins. I wish.
No Justin
Justin Jefferson. Justin Fields has had 2 really, really good back-to-back games. I would suspect that he has a good game this week. The Vikings always struggle with running quarterbacks. This is not an intriguing game. Nobody should have this on their television.
But Bears could win.
The Bears should win.
Wow.
I would say.
All right.
It wouldn't surprise me if.
I'm intrigued on that one.
The Bears defense is really bad, though. But
I am in. I am in on Vikings Bears.
That's one of us.
49ers at Browns.
No. When you factor in the weather, you factor in the fact that Deshaun Watson's not playing, it would take a miracle pretty much. It would take the Browns defense winning this game. Like if the Browns are going to even make this game close, it's going to be because they force turnovers and they probably got a score or 2 on special teams or on defense.
Well, they're going to need bad weather.
Yes.
They would need actual bad weather to have a chance. And then we get to talk about, well, look what Brock did in a monsoon, and I'm not going to come into work that day.
Well, yeah, and then it's going to be either way. It's either he's going to have a great game, and it's going to say, look what Brock did in the monsoon. Wow, even in terrible weather, he was able to perform. Or it's going to be, I don't know, Brock only threw for 130 yards, and they won 19-3. Were we too quick to crown him? What is he? Is this
it
just
was a
proof
monsoon.
he's a game manager?
It was a monsoon. Okay,
no thanks.
Historic matchup, but doesn't mean the same that it once did. Patriots at the Raiders.
No, absolutely not. The Patriots are just they're a doormat right now.
Wow.
I mean, just back-to-back weeks of getting throttled, absolutely throttled. First by the Cowboys, and then last week, as Kyle mentioned, by the Saints. Maybe, it's intriguing to see if the Raiders can do that as well, because if the Raiders do that to the Patriots, then, you want to talk about Josh McDaniels' revenge game. You can have, the Dave Ziegler revenge as well. And I don't know which side I favor in that, because the Raiders, anytime you think things are going to be leaning in their favor, they have a crazy way of turning that on its head. But I wouldn't say this will be one of the games that I'm locked into.
Lions at Buccaneers.
No, again. I think that's an easy Lions win. The Bucs.
Don't sleep on Baker.
Not a big Baker guy. I'm just not. Maybe at home he has a better chance of performing, and he's had a couple games this year, especially in the first 2 weeks. He looked really good, but this Lions team, they're legit.
They're
man.
rolling.
They're really, really
well.
legit.
You know what? And depending on if they take care of business and how they take care of business and how they take care of business, we're going to have to start. People are already having the conversation, but these tier 2 teams, when it comes to the NFC and everybody else, now you start thinking about, okay, instead of the Cowboys, is it the Lions that maybe could sneak up? The Seahawks and Geno, what's that situation looking like? Okay, last one before we hit the break, and then we got 3 more. Cardinals, and this is a quick one.
Yeah.
Cardinals at Rams.
I am actually mildly intrigued in this. I am, especially with how the Cardinals, Josh Dobbs hasn't looked like a complete and utter joke. Like he's looked okay.
Come on, man. What are we doing here? You'd rather watch that than Vikings Bears?
I'm more intrigued, but maybe that's because I'm out just on the Vikings having any sort of hope for this year, and the Bears don't really move the needle for me at all. At least, we get Cooper Kupp, you get Puka Nacua, and I definitely think the Rams are going to run away with it, but I think the Cardinals have proven enough to be frisky. I feel like they can maybe, shock the Rams on a given week. I wouldn't be surprised if that game's close in the mid-third quarter.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, 3 more games to go through, and then I am going to attempt to convince Chris why this game this weekend with the Kings and Warriors is important. All that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast will include a mix of sun and clouds, light southwesterly winds. Temperatures this afternoon falling shy of average, topping out in the upper 70s. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
My name is Jim Conroy, and I'm the CEO at Boot Barn. As we celebrate 45 years supporting the Western community, we have been reflecting on the American Cowboys' incredible influence on our nation. Through tenacity and grit, they persevere to keep the cowboy legacy alive while feeding families across the world. It speaks to the strength and spirit of our country, and we are honored to support this proud heritage. Thank you for sharing the West with us for 45 years.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idategreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on!
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
One of the reasons people buy new cars is because of the warranty. They don't want to have to worry about things breaking and the fear of unexpected repair costs. But did you know Elk Grove Kia has one of the longest warranties around at 20 years or 200,000 miles? No other Kia dealer offers that. You would have to be a real to buy from anyone other than Elk Grove Kia. And if you're worried about financing, don't. Elk Grove Kia believes in second, third, and sometimes fourth chances because Elk Grove Kia's management team has over 100 years of combined automotive experience. We know how to say yes a lot more than the others do. Collections, past due bills, repos, bankruptcies. Your job is your credit. So where others fail to get you into your new ride, we can get you qualified. Let Elk Grove Kia show you why we're out to be the #1 Kia dealer in California. So when you're ready for some peace of mind and a friendly face, come visit us. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Hey guys, it's Friday, which means I'm not Christopher Laud, but it means it's time for your chill Sactown Sports headline. The San Francisco 49ers are taking on Cleveland this weekend. Sactown Sports has your coverage beginning at 9 a.m. this Sunday. You guys should check it out right here, 11:40 a.m. The app or SactownSports.com. Sacramento Kings, they're taking on the Golden State Warriors. Allen Stiles thinks this is a big game. He's probably also very confused by what's happening right now.
He is very confused. He already asked me. He's like, is this a bit?
It is a bit. You guys should check that game out. 5 o'clock, right here, Sactown Sports on Sunday. Reminder that the NorCal Sportsman Show is this weekend, October 14th and 15th at the grounds in Roseville. Hey, these are your chill Sactown Sports headlines, which means there's only 30 minutes left of the show. So let's throw it back to Stiles and Watkins.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins. Chris is going to brief me, or he already kind of briefed me on what in the world that was.
It's your chill Sactown Sports headlines.
You don't feel more relaxed? You don't feel more ready for the weekend after that?
I feel a lot of things.
Especially, I just have a bigger issue with the update music that we normally play in general. It's just a little bit way too intense. It's a little like very 90s, early 2000s sports radio. The
Hey, I love it. Turn back the clock. Turn back the clock. Real quick before we finish the slate and get into some Kings Warriors. On the text line, we had a couple come in when we were comparing who would you want to win, Dusty or Bruce Bochy. The 916 said Dusty Baker has a park named after him in Sacramento. Yeah. It's on Auburn, close to Watt. So there's one for Dusty. The 530 says never Houston, go Rangers and go Marcus. Hashtag Astros cheated.
See, that's an A's fan right there for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, that's just we love Marcus and never Astros.
Never Astros. Never. And, there's a lot of conversation about the Astros and did they cross the line in what they did and, with the video and everything like that. Because, you steal signs, right? It's part of the game. But to me and to a lot of people, it was the recording and the technology that crossed over. If you remember, if you happen to see, they teach you, hey, if somebody's only throwing down one sign and you get the sign, we would shuffle our feet if it was a fastball.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah, we would cross over our feet if it was off speed. And I got caught up one time because I did it in summer ball and I guess I wasn't as slick as I thought, and I was really looking in here, and the pitcher looked back at me, and he starts shaking his head like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. And then they didn't change the sign, so I'm like, I'm going to keep doing it. What do you want me to do? So, yeah.
It's just the manner of which they did it. Like, It's just taking it a step too, like, once you bring technology into the game, it's like, all right, that's like clearly an advantage that just, it's one thing to do the action, but like when you're going to be nefarious about the way that you obtain that information, that's when it turns into what it turned into.
Right. And I don't
electronic buzzers and all that stuff.
Yeah. And as far as Manfred is concerned, I don't know what do you just okay, so that's a question. Would you have just stripped them of the World Series?
You mean that piece of metal?
Yes.
Just that hunk of metal, I believe, is what he referred to that
Whose World Series is worth more? The Dodgers 2020 or Astros?
Astros.
Kyle, can I hear an explanation why you feel that way?
It's not bagging on the Dodgers for winning in a shortened season. That part's whatever. It's that people overreacted on the Astros thing because, one, the Yankees and Red Sox also got busted for sign stealing during that season. And two, it was more the reaction than anything else. People knew back in January that the Astros cheating scandal was out there in January 2019. It was only when the whole Ken Rosenthal thing happened and the aftermath and people vilified the Astros. So people weren't really that upset. It was just the way it was handled by baseball is what people are more upset about.
Yeah. I mean, you commit a crime, you do the time, and the Astros kind of got out scot-free.
Yeah,
Again, I don't know what you do, though. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, what would have been
a couple diamonds out of the rings? Like, I don't know.
You just public pressure is all people have. And I think people are overreacting because, again, they changed the rules to prevent, sign stealing technology. Like, that's why they have PitchCom now, right?
Yeah,
a direct result of that.
Yeah, look, I've always felt like just have an asterisk area
Mm-hmm.
in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You can put Barry in there.
Yep.
You can put whoever you
Sosa
want in there.
yeah.
Sosa in
Put
there.
the
You put
Astros.
Pete Rose in
Yeah.
there. You put the Astros in there.
Pete Rose.
Put everybody in there.
Rose.
So because you deserve to be there.
Yeah, right.
But something happened.
Yeah.
Put Mark McGuire in there if you
Right.
want.
Alex Rodriguez.
Put A-Rod in there. Put them all
Yeah.
in there. Put them all in there.
The Hall of Explanations.
Exactly. All right, let's finish up this NFL slate so I can convince you why
Okay.
Warriors Kings matters. Eagles at Jets.
Oh, jeez, no.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that
not. You
is-
can't convince me to watch Zach Wilson more than I have to already.
I'm telling you right now, those confidence points, Eagles are playing with their food, man.
They are,
I
yeah.
don't know what the line is, but don't be surprised if the Jets mess around and cover.
I really hope not. I mean, that should be. I mean, the problem is with the Jets. I say problem is, to your point, like their defense is still really good. Like Aaron Rodgers might have gone down, but that does not. I mean, I heard Sauce Gardner miss practice earlier today, but for the most part, I mean, they're going to keep those games close, especially with the Eagles not really having an explosive offense. Wouldn't surprise me, to your point, if that's like a 20-10 game at some point, and the Jets. You're relying on Zach Wilson going out there and making a play,
And he
that's
starts
that's where
cooking
it
like
stops.
T. Swizzle was
No,
out there.
No.
T. Swift had him cooking. All right.
Maybe
yeah.
get his mom's friend out there. Or something.
Yeah.
They'll go crazy.
I mean, I'm in.
Okay.
All right. Giants at Bills. Giants is another bird box for me. I don't need to watch
I'm
them
good.
anymore.
And Daniel Jones isn't playing in this. I believe they announced earlier today that it's going to be Tyrod
Watch
Taylor.
Tyrod cook.
Yeah, Mr. Punctured Lung
Tyrod
himself.
and Matt Breida.
Oh, goodness
Hey,
gracious.
man.
Yeah, I forgot Saquon's still out too.
Tyrod, I'll never forget that Toyota commercial that Tyrod had
What?
when he was rolling, and
They
it
gave
was
Tyrod a commercial?
it was the only one because right after that I think he punctured his lung.
He
But-
didn't puncture his
no,
lung.
no,
Let's not get into
right.
it.
He didn't do it himself, but the car is streaking, and for some reason he has a football, and someone's like Tyrod, and he throws it through the moonroof. Yeah. I'll search for it.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's the only one. It was a good one. All right, and the last game, Monday Night Football, Cowboys at Chargers.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this. This feels like two teams that always just get in their own way, and it should be a good match. Like there's a lot of talent in this game. Whether
Right.
or not it's going to actually produce good football, still yet to be seen. But definitely, that's two really really good teams that should be able to put on a show on Monday night. I cannot believe that makes me realize that Jets Bills game is on Sunday night. It will be an early.
Why
night
are
for
they
me.
doing
It'll
this
be an
to us?
early night for me.
Why are they doing this to us?
Why are you forcing us to watch the Giants again?
The whole pizza
Come on.
thing. There's some bad pizza here. I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's some
Really
bad
bad
pizza here. All right, so
Good college games this weekend, though.
that's right. And also we have
That's right.
Kings
Entree.
Warriors.
Yes, sir.
Warriors coming down. There's no beam during the preseason,
There is
which I
not,
think
no.
is great.
Kyle Draper confirmed.
Yes, there does not need to be a beam
No.
during the preseason. Kyle Draper calling that game
Yes,
as
he
he
will
told
be.
us yesterday during the crosstalk. So you definitely want to catch that. But I'm telling you, man, you're going to want to pay attention to this game
Mhm.
because this is the game. I know it's preseason. I know it doesn't count, but this is the game where, maybe the switch isn't completely flipped,
Mhm.
but you're going to see it more flipped than against the Lakers.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to take away more because it is the Warriors. And the last time the Warriors played in that building,
Mhm.
we know what went down.
Yes,
So if the
unfortunately.
defense looks the way it looks against the Lakers, as Whitey said, as they get ready to come in for crosstalk, you're looking for the panic button a little bit, but maybe you
Yeah.
just are thinking, okay, still hoping you'll be able to get it up when it counts, right? Or get
Yep.
up for it. But I am very into
Yeah.
this preseason matchup with the Kings.
Yeah.
I want to see, just a little taste of, hey, maybe not the whole game,
Right.
but hey, we're going to come out and hey,
We're going to show something.
get ready for the 26 because we're about that action. We remember.
Yeah. No, I definitely can see that too. I mean, they've played 2 preseason games, so now hopefully you get all that rust off. That can't be an excuse anymore. This is the first home game of the season, so you're in a comfortable environment. You're playing probably your biggest rivals right now, even though it's preseason and Steph probably won't play, Chris Paul probably, all those guys probably won't be out there, but it's a really good opportunity to show something positive for this team. And there's still. And I cannot believe the NBA preseason has 5 games. That feels like way too many. But this feels like a good point to have that turning moment for the Kings. 3 more preseason games left. First one at home. Again, playing your rivals, got to get up for it. And I'd like to see the offense look good. I mean, a big part of why I think the Kings' defenses look so bad is because last year their best defense was their offense, and just trying to keep people constantly trying to play catch up with their offense. And that's what I'm hoping to see. I want to see the Kings put up over 120 in this game. Let's go out there and let's look like the team that we looked like last year.
Right. This is the time, that fan base is going to be ready to go. Yep. And again, I got a name for them, but you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait, but you won't have to wait for Crosstalk. That's up right now with The Drive, guys. When we get back, one more segment for you, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has a selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057618.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com. At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Guys, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making you this guarantee. We will improve the medical condition of your ED or low T, or we'll give you your money back. Book your free appointment today. Call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Little crosstalk for you on this fun Friday. With the drive, guys. Woo! How are you two doing?
It's Friday.
Yeah. So here's my question.
Yes.
What are you more excited about? Preseason game with Kings Warriors or Niners at Browns?
Go ahead, Whitey, because I'm biased. My answer is obvious, right?
Yeah, because he's doing the game.
That's true.
I'm more excited about the 49ers game, but I think that's going to go not sideways, but I think it's going to be very one-sided. And I'm more interested in the Kings, curious about the Kings Warriors game, because it's preseason, excited more about the 49ers Browns.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I think it's going to be an ugly game in Cleveland. We'll see what happens with the weather.
Right.
But I think if, whatever Christian McCaffrey's set yards are, take the over.
Take the over?
He
Over,
is going, I think it's going to be a big Christian McCaffrey game.
Against that defense on a muddy track?
I think they're going to try to run him.
Yeah.
I don't think, again, it depends on the weather, but, this might be a game where you talk about, Brock, is he dink and dunk? And, even Mahomes, he looks like he's dinking and dunking a lot often. This might be a game where.
Overrated.
Well, okay.
He just
relax, buddy.
Are you serious?
Come on.
No, he's not.
Right now he is.
He's trying to get a raise out of me, man.
Right now he's not really playing that.
Who are his wide receivers?
Well, that's probably why, but let's face it. Right now he's not playing like the best quarterback in the NFL.
So who
which
is?
I think he is. Who's playing like the best quarterback?
Oh, gosh. Stand on it. Stand on it.
Is this where we started with? Is this where we going?
No, you came in with an agenda.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
you came in with an agenda. Well,
who's playing like the best quarterback? Probably Brock Purdy is playing right now like the best quarterback.
Huh.
He's in the argument. He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation.
I can't argue with that.
No, I mean,
can't.
that's the thing is
He is playing like the best.
Yeah, is he better than Patrick Mahomes? No.
Hold on. Didn't yesterday you call him the best quarterback in the NFL? You had some stats, some numbers, and everything like this.
I don't even
now that we're on a crossover.
You
got to keep the same energy.
I did hear Wade say
Exactly.
something about Josh Allen not being as good as Brock Purdy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you had them sort of on a similar level.
How many interceptions has Brock Purdy thrown this year?
It doesn't matter.
How many interceptions has Patrick Mahomes thrown? Last night.
Yeah. Well, two.
Last night.
Only one counted. I don't know if you saw, but the fix was allegedly in on that second one.
Let me wrap it up here, and I apologize for taking us down.
No.
You mentioned earlier, I heard you talking about Mike Sando. He's going to be on today at 2:15 with us.
Really?
So
Nice.
we're going to talk about that interesting piece that he wrote yesterday about all this.
Yeah, it was all about Brock. I thought it was really interesting. Because the part that we really focused more on was the section of what Brock still needs to prove. And it wasn't necessarily him saying, oh, Brock can't do this. It's just we literally have not had the opportunity to see him run that 2-minute offense.
And they could win the whole thing, and we never see it. What are we talking about here?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and you know this, Chris, I think you'd agree with me. Brock Purdy doesn't have the strongest arm. He's never going to have what you call by NFL standards, a strong arm.
Yeah.
He's not. So I think some people, perhaps rightly, will always look at that and go, well, he's limited. And he's never going to have that kind of arm like Mahomes or Josh Allen. It's not going to happen.
But he wins in different ways.
Yes,
and I think that's the thing. Like, I think that we've kind of, with this Mahomes and Josh Allen with their style of play, even Justin Herbert, I feel like we've fallen in love with this. You have to have a big arm.
Right.
You've got to be the guy who's going out there making plays, making these big 50-yard throws. But there's different ways of playing the position.
I'll tell you who's not the best quarterback is Russell Wilson.
Oof.
No.
My goodness.
Did you see something that Russell Wilson statistically and Patrick Mahomes are pretty darn similar right now?
This season, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, they've thrown for similar amount of yards. I think
I don't know
Russ
what to do
might
with
even
that.
have more touchdowns.
You should have
but-
called me yesterday and told me that when we were arguing about this.
Mahomes is more closer to Russell Wilson than Brock Purdy.
Class of his own. I will say this about the arm strength thing. So, Whitey likes to joke me a lot because I played a long time ago back, and they just learned that me and my new friend Kyle Draper here, both T for Temple U. Shout out to the Owls. Now, I'll just be honest with you because I'm an honest guy. I was known for a lot of things. A strong arm is not one of them.
So you didn't play a lot of right field. Huh?
No. I was more center and left, right? But I'll tell you what, I had the quickest release this side of the Mississippi. I that ball was in my glove and out of my glove very quickly.
Like did you have the Brock Purdy crow hop?
I needed it at times, but I do think that when it comes to arm strength, sometimes it does get a little overblown. I think it's a great thing to have, but how many times throughout the course of a game when you're watching in the NFL is someone just bombing it, right? Like really just a straight Deshaun Jackson go route. It doesn't really happen that often. So is it just that people just like it? People love the long ball. People love the long ball in baseball. People love the long ball in football. But ultimately,
people love knockouts, but they don't love watching Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
You know?
And the long ball in basketball, the three-pointer, when in reality, it doesn't happen that often.
But you know this, the arm strength isn't just being able to throw it from here all the way to there, but it's in getting it from here to there, maybe a little quicker.
When I watch Brock and I watch on Sunday, when I got Sunday Ticket going and I watch Brock and I watch other QBs, I do not see anything.
Weak arm or anything like that.
It's not glaring.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think his arm is a little better than what people think. You know, to Whitey's point though, when it comes to arm strength, when guys are running 2 yards free out in the secondary, like he doesn't have to fit the ball into many tight windows, and that's where arm strength I think can help you. And so we haven't had to see him show off his arm strength or live up to that so far because guys are running free for the most part.
Did anyone ever rag you, the other team, about your arm?
Not the other team, but my friends and my own team.
My favorite
all the time.
Pie thrower. He's a pie thrower.
No, I didn't have a Chris Davis
Yeah.
arm. All right, I also couldn't hit the ball as far as Chris Davis. That's why I'm sitting with you right here. But I didn't have Chris Davis arm. Didn't have a Johnny Damon arm. I'd like to think, but I guess we'll never know. But we do know who's up next. That's the Drive Guys taking you up into your weekend. Thank you for listening to Chris and Co. Stiles and Watkins. Talk to you soon.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up